So these are members of the minority bloc. You see them. So we see the speaker. So this is the vehicle belonging to. So these are members of the minority bloc. You see them. So we see the speaker. So this is the vehicle belonging to Speaker Kofa. This is the vehicle belonging to Speaker Kofa. And we see him coming with a very huge security here. This is Speaker Kofa's vehicle. We see them coming with a very huge security here. So these are members of the minority bloc. So this is this vehicle belongs to Speaker Kofa.
So let's say probably he's going to disembark the vehicle. Okay, so he's disembarking the vehicle. Okay, it is seen. It is in other houses.
So there's a mark on his forehead. I'm seeing a cross.
It's beyond that point, please. It's beyond that point. It's beyond that point. It's beyond that point. It's beyond that point. I'm telling you, it's beyond that point. Excuse me. It's beyond that point. Wait, get me.
So you saying Speaker Kofa there? There's a cross on his head.
How do you feel Ben here? Yes, you gotta cross over your head. So on your head. What does it mean?
Oh, as well as
Hello, it's beyond this point. It's beyond this point. You know this. You gotta go back. It's beyond this point.
Come back.
So, Speaker Chief Kofa just came. But then with a cross on his head in representation of Ash Wednesday.
Okay, Mama, talk for like it. You don't want me. No, let me you. I don't do that in the baby. Let's do it, girlfriend. No, let me know.
So these are security officers. So, House Speaker Chief Kofa just arrived here at the ground of the Liberia National Police headquarters. He came with a cross mark on his head in representation of Ash Wednesday. He's a Catholic. So these are citizens in solidarity of House Speaker Chief Kofa. The name is Sam Simosue, and we are live here for the ground of the Capitol building. So the ground is politically charged here.
The issue of the speakership is Minister of the Sense. What kind of guys are the gatekeeper battles and just called the state of being support of the meditation?
The party has been very clear from the very beginning of this impact at the capital. The party has been very clear. The party recognized the legitimate speaker. The party is still standing with the legitimate speaker until all of us. For me, I don't want to get too much involved into the legislative debate, but what is currently going on at the Liberia National Police is wrong. There are not one group of lawmakers that were at the capital. There were so many lawmakers. Why are you not inviting the other people from the other side? So are you on the order of the
So, chairman of the city, this is the chief of protocol, Honorable Namwe. Good afternoon.
What's on?
The mission, what's the mission?
You just smiled again today. It's always good to have you, sir.
Can you accompany Speaker Kofa to his hearing? Okay, so that's it.
What do you make of the
You try to escape, but I can't you up with Israel.
So that was the force of Honorable Len Eugene Namwe.
some confrontation here on the ground.
So that's just another side attraction.
Hello?
Honorable Funanti Kofa is already in the building of the Liberia National Police, getting ready for his special answering. For the security system here seems to be very tight. You see, so what you see is seditious, chanting political songs. I told you.
I think we need to get
So what you're saying is her speaker, Chief Funati Kofa, is already inside the police headquarters. He was accompanied by members of the minority bloc and stars of the CDC, along with supporters. So these are all supporters. So based on his explanation as it relates to the fire incident, so immediately he comes out from the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. We will have a media engagement with him where he will give us his view, how he thinks the investigation look like and how it's gonna be.
Okay. Wow, good. Yeah, good. Welcome, people. Yeah, welcome. it's, it's not easy to avoid Taiwanese the other side. Welcome, Chief.
Hey, Ansu, what's up, man?
Yeah. Wow, you look tired, though. That's everything.
Very, very tired. No joke about that. I'm tired. No joke. You got it.
Yeah.
The show, patience. They say the show is on YouTube. The show is on YouTube. I just got it. Oh,
Okay.
now somebody. You're checking Google.
Patient, see my.
She said the show is not on YouTube.
So, yeah. So our engineers are checking it out. Yeah, our IT guys and they are checking it out for our NEA patient. But good to be here tonight. Closing argument. So welcome. So for those of you following us, share the show, share the program. Yeah. Invite other people to join you. It's on YouTube. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. The guys to see can check your. All right.
Okay.
So,
Actual Factuals is on YouTube.
Yeah.
So let me call our guy. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the closing argument. Today is March 5th, 2025. Sorry for coming in late. We had a problem with our StreamYard, and at least we were able to get our link together. But thanks to all those who helped to restore the link. But it's good to be back. The show is live on YouTube, okay. But we just want to welcome you all and let's have a good show. But Ansu, you guys on the ground, I'm about to call my guy in Liberia to find out what's happening today. I heard some noise today in Liberia. I don't know what they're about, but maybe he'll tell us. But no, but anyway, let me get him to tell us.
Yeah, so all the noise were happening on the Capitol Hill there. All the noise to the LU students were on their own. At the same time, the arrival for the battle speaker too, the police.
Okay, on the line, let me just put something from the closing argument on Morovia. Something, tell us what's going on. Like, what's the latest news for the day in Liberia?
So today, Chairman Berede keep the team running. He announced that on Monday he will be registering his candidate for the Nima by-election. He also announced that Honorable Jerry Yobo District 12 is now a full-fledged executive member of the CMC. Right after that, we came at the Capitol Hill. We also saw the ProSAT from the University of Liberia. They came on the road to protest in defense of the students, according to them. They blocked the road, and then the police also used tear gas on them to clear that entire road and threw tear gas in the University of Liberia fence. And later, by 1 o'clock, we all rushed to the LMP headquarters, where Honorable Chief Funati Kofa, along with member of the minority bloc, was accommodating him. He went at the LMP headquarters to answer a few questions as it relates to the fire incident. And but what shocked everyone was immediately after the LMP invited Speaker Chief Funati Kofa at the LMP, we saw a team of fire experts coming way from the US to come and do some investigation. And what they did set for his appearance at the LMP was this very same day. The fire experts left the country along with a report stating that the fire incident that occurred at the Capitol building was intentional. But then Honorable Kofa went at the police station. When we interviewed him, he said they were asking him questions that had no relation to the fire incident, asking him about his post, asking him about his staff and other things. So we climaxed the deal with him immediately after he left the police station by 4 o'clock today.
So they fired experts from America that went to Liberia. Are they still in Liberia?
No, they left the country on Tuesday.
Wow. So the speaker went to the police station and he said they asked him questions that was not related to what they're investigating about.
Yeah, so we interviewed him and he said that some of the questions that they were asking have no relation to the fire incident that occurred last year at the Capitol building. He also made reference, made some statement stating that the police, if they actually want to investigate the fire incident, they should start calling members from the majority bloc, because they were in possession of that particular place that caught it on fire. And they should also start calling those PSU officers who are also on assignment that night prior to the incident.
Wow. I don't know, but this fire. So, but then, so the fire investigators, have they made a report public? Have they submitted it to? I mean, have they made it public to the press, or to the authorities that supposed to have it, have did submit it?
So for me, I have not seen an official report from the Fire Service Express. While I've come across a few Facebook posts from few media outlets indicating that the Fire Service, the Fire Express said, according to them, said that the fire was intentional and so on. Here is behind it. But I've not seen the official report. I only saw a copy to carry one of the media, I don't know, cover carpet, carry one of the media institution name on it. That's the other copy running around saying that the whole report is out, but I've not seen the report.
Wow. Well, so but Simpson, so what's going on at the legislature? What's besides what's else going on? What's going on at the legislature? Simpson. Oh, Simpson, go on. Simpson. Oh,
I'm still on. You getting me?
yeah, you're muted. So what's going on at the legislature right now?
So the vote at the legislature are now ended. Member of the minority bloc remain banned on attending session on majority bloc Speaker Richard Namwekun. Today, another communication was sent in the office of Honorable Yeka Koloba by the chief clerk, starting to another investigation as it relates to the actual complaint of fire against him by Honorable Anthony Williams. But also we expect that the Supreme Court will be coming up with their ruling on the rate of information that was requested by members of the minority bloc to provide clarity on their ruling that they gave, stating that the minority, the House of Representatives was acting on ultra virus, so the minority bloc filed a complaint, an official complaint, asking for the Supreme Court to give a clear and definite ruling and opinion. We also await that the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court also invited the Federal Minister on Constant Kafwan, and they also invited members from the minority bloc as to the purpose of that if I was to give a clear explanation as to why they seized few lawmakers' salary. Honorable Fred Safoko, Honorable Eugene Colley, Honorable Marvin Core, Honorable Abu Bala Kamal, along with Honorable Elo Papi Flomo. These lawmakers' salary have been seized since December. They are not taking their pay, so they filed another complaint to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court requested the Ministry of Finance along with member of the majority bloc to give explanations to why their Cody's salary was seized.
Wow. Man, Liberia is an interesting country. Why the war is moving further. We're still playing tabata. We're still joking in our country. That's why, for some reason, President Trump mentioned our country. I mean, I was shocked, though. And here were his exact words. He said, 1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. That's what he said in a State of the Nation, State of the Union address last night. And there are other countries that had a lot of money was spent by USAID, but while Liberia was one of the countries that is particularly made to come in his speech, and today I've been trying to call the office of how to call them Dodge, trying to call them to ask them why our country were put in our speech, and I won't rest there. I get to the bottom why they put Liberia there. Other country to see, other countries are taking money from USAID, only Liberia. Why they inserted Liberia in that Trump speech, and when Trump called Liberia, Speaker Johnson and the Vice President Vance, they just look at each other and laugh. I mean, it's like 1.5 million for what? In other words, saying for voters' confidence. What kind of confidence again? But a joke. There are no voter confidence in the 2023 election. That's all joke. That election was robbed by fraud. We all know what happened in that election. But there's no way, absolutely no way, you're coming from 1%. I would never agree with it. Or no way any Abiton took their place. It's a joke. I can tell I can election and say, oh. So we'll find out.
Well, I don't campaign money.
I don't no campaign. That man's a joker, man.
Joe winning campaign.
Not Joe with a campaign. The man, he ain't had no interview, nobody, he appear on no platform, nothing, nobody, no radio station, nothing. Also,
the real voters don't have time listening to radio.
Man, I beg you to you that. I mean, I beg you.
I'm telling you, the real voters are the one in the market. Are the ones like in the market in the
people listen to the thing. In like people listen to the thing. They be listening to what the post saying.
Man, the real voters in the rural area don't listen to radio.
Who told you that? Man, stop it, man. People listen. You trying to diminish the people for? People listen to this thing there.
No, I diminish now. I mean, they don't have time. What's happening in it?
Very important what people say on live platform, because people are listening to you all over. You know who listen to you. You know, but again, you read but for you to question the election because Abiton accumulated that amount of vote. That election was not fair. I mean, only God knows it was not fair. There's no way. I mean, look, Cummings and Moneybag were the two Gongloe. Two of them work hard. They campaign, went through the country. There's no way they will get the numbers of God. Come on, man. What are you talking about? That's a joke, man. Election was a joke.
Abiton can't tell. Abiton.
Well, I'm trying to find the fire guys now. I heard
the fire place.
I heard the police, the Inspector General Police. I heard that he's not in the. I heard that he's not well. He was taking out the country today. I don't know how true is. I won't confirm it. I heard he was taking out the country today.
The pressure too much for Garguah.
And I heard he was taking out the country today. I don't know. I'm trying to really confirm it. So, but something.
Yeah. Yes.
So, tomorrow, what's going to happen tomorrow?
So tomorrow in the morning, the members of the minority bloc are expected to appear for their regular session. We also going to see the majority bloc to appear for their regular session. But the shocking news is the majority bloc supposed to be using the main chamber, whereas the minority bloc too supposed to be using that particular chamber. So we expect another casualty. We expect another fight if care is not taken. But let's see how it's going to happen, because the chair of the administration from the majority bloc announced that they will be having their session to their first session since the year in the main chamber. And on the way, Yeka Koluba, along with some members on the way, Eugene Koli, are also saying that they will be having their session in that particular area, and Speaker Kofa will be the one to hold the gavel to preserve. So it's going to be a very tight day on tomorrow for us. Tomorrow in the morning as well. We are also expected to be to OKFN, where Kafwan will be appearing there by 9 o'clock, 9 to 10 o'clock, to be giving his view on the current state of the economy and how what's Liberia state as it relates to this UC project that will cut off.
Wow. Well, thank you, Samson. We look forward to covering all of these activities tomorrow. And so, what's the status of the NEMA election? The NEC have declared open now?
So NEC will announce the total number of voters, and NEC said over 3,000 voters are eligible to vote in the NEMA or in the upcoming NEMA election. But candidate registration has begun. Honorable Musa Hassan Pelete said he will be registering his candidate. But we are yet to know who he's going to be carried. So we wait because we want to drop the boy and get it rolling earlier. We are with the candidate. He's supposed to be registered, but prior to the registration, he's expected to host a press conference to announce to the public in the world large that who is candidate will be and how the campaign process going to be like.
So what is the name of the party, the new party?
The CMC, Citizen Movement for Change.
Citizen Movement
for Change.
But tonight you don't know the new party.
I'm independent. I'm not. No, I'll make a decision on account of election in an election year. Right now,
well, you have access to information. Someone like you are aware of most of the party.
I want to to call the name. But in fact, I just got information. Tomorrow, the political leader of the Citizen Movement for Change, the Honorable Musa Hassan Bello, will be our special guest tomorrow. He'll be appearing on the closing argument tomorrow to address a wide range of issues. Chairman will speak on trending national issues, also as it relates to the impacts of the legislature, as well as his newly formed party, the CMC. This party I'm hearing is gaining traction, though. People are joining this party. People are coming to this party. I see some influential people coming towards the party. But again, in politics, you wait till they come in the meantime. But from what I'm gathering, because of what's happening in the country, 2029 election will take place sooner because people are not happy. They just want to ensure that election is held today so they can take over the country because the country. Samson, thank you, man. I'll call you tomorrow. Thank you. Samson, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I'll forget. I'll call you after the show. Yeah, I promise you.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. I got it. I got a message. So because people are not happy, people are not satisfied at all. They want this thing. They just want to start the politics get it started right away because they're not happy what's going on in the country. I mean, I don't understand how the executive branch, how the other guys, how do they feel? You got the first branch of government split. Okay, there's nothing. I mean, you got this fight going on. Then you got international issues to cope with. You should be asking themselves this question. Why Liberia were putting in Trump's speech last night of Liberia of all country? And you got even the amount. The amount is not that much, $1.5 million. So I mean, the people say, wow, these people, they play with money, the small money, $1.5 million just for election, I call it, for voter confidence in Liberia. Can you imagine? Voter confidence. What do you call voter confidence? Huh? Yeah, they put losing money, but again, the United States Supreme Court today ruled 5-4 that the money that Trump should release the money for USAID, because this money are all appropriated already, approved by Congress. It's into law. I think the president signed the money into law. I mean, President Biden. So I don't think the President Trump government has any right to be holding this money. So the Supreme Court today said, look, release the money. The money that was appropriated for projects by Congress, let it go through. So there's a fight right now. That's what happens. In a 5-4 ruling, you have some members of the conservative bloc on the Supreme Court joining with the liberals. 2%. Yeah, because there are 3 liberals and 3 liberals and 6 conservative Supreme Court justices. So that means you had, I gotta get who are the conservative judges that voted along with the liberals to tell the president that he released the money. Yeah, but that's what happened in the country. That's what happened, and then we're hearing about this thing about the firefighters who went to Liberia to investigate. I don't know whether they have done a good job or they have left more questions to be asked. I don't know, but hopefully we'll get hold of them so they can help us to navigate what's happening in Liberia. But for now, But Ansu, what are you hearing about the fire issue, the fire investigation? What are you hearing out there?
The public just saying that am I wrong?
Yeah.
What I mean, the public now, from the public, they're just saying that just waste of money was spent by government, because the what Samson said, the guys said it was intention, it was not free. The fire was caused by people. So all these things, then what causes fire sometimes? Either when you do the wrong maybe connection, someone came on the wrong connection, it caused fire. So fire must be caused by someone. So the public now taking it out now was just a waste of money. Since then, when it was trending on Facebook, despite officially it's not out yet. That report is not officially out yet, but anything that come up, sometimes you understand that, especially in the public, this can be weird. So as soon as the guys left the country, the information started trending on the internet that the guys said the fire was intention. So that people said was just a waste of money in the beginning. Guys in India, police already carry on investigation. In fact, there's some people started complaining on why the police even they know that fire experts were coming into the country. Why the police even started carrying on arrest? They should have waited for the guys to come and carry on to the investigation, combine all two before they start arresting people. So I just been mixed reaction from the public, especially looking at the guys that coming. It was just waste of fun, indeed, for government. So that's why maybe it was what in some quarter people have been saying with the arrival of this fire express in the country coming to check, at the Capitol building. So they condemn it. They say it's a big lie. Everyone say lie man do that, or just something where project key to their issue, got government money, and at the end of the day they left. They went back.
Well, so I mean, it's clear that I mean, you don't need rocket scientists to know that fire was caused by but it was intentional fire. It's clear it was intentional fire, but
we all know it was intentional fire. So you come back that tell us again it was intentional.
The problem is that they got to find out who really caused the fire, who did it. Because the two sides are accusing each other, so that's why you need forensic. And the people that came, they are not forensic investigators, so I don't know why they even decided to take it. But that's the situation on hand. Abu, you want me today or not?
Abu is on the phone, bro.
Abu, put that phone down. You on that? You on platform? You fasting and you on phone still? What are you talking? Can you hear you?
I'm following you. I'm following. I will not ask you to talk. That's the reason I'm quietly seated.
Yeah, okay. You might add today. All day today. Where you are.
No, but if you ask me to speak, I will speak. And what you guys say?
Yes, what I want you to tell me about the fire incident first before I go on.
Yeah, I think a week ago, I followed the show religiously. You hosted, I think, few folks on this platform, and they were, I think, invited, but I don't know, I think the security apparatus to kind of aid in establishing what led to, a fire incident at the Capitol building. As per what I gather, the team had left the country. They have carried on an investigation, and they promised to revert to the security apparatus with their findings. So far, it is what I'm knowledgeable of.
Well, Ansu.
Yeah.
Open the lines. Let me hear from Liberian people about this fire investigation. Let me hear from them. Let them tell us what's their view on the fire investigation. Oh, well,
okay,
while you go into the lines, let me just say something here. Yeah, I was talking about the USAID funding. Yeah, I just got it. Okay. The divided Supreme Court rejected the Trump administration's request to keep billions of dollars in foreign aid approved by Congress frozen. See, the people say the money that the Congress approved, once you approve the money, you have no right to stop the money. Congress, one is legal. The ruling was 5-4. Okay. As usual, the four people always vote, especially Clarence Thomas, the only black man in the court. He will always vote on another. He will never vote What are that? Red, you vote black. Didn't care. But the 4 conservative justices dissented. Samuel Alito, oh yeah, another one. Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, and Brett Kavanaugh. But the majority that voted was the Chief Justice John Roberts, Amin Conan Barrett, Elena Kagan, Sonia Sotomayor, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. So they say that they yeah, so
it was 5 against 4.
Yeah, 5. So on the Supreme Court, they got 9. Okay. 6 of them are what you call conservative. That means they mostly Republican people. Okay. Yeah, and the 3 liberal justices are the 3 ladies: Elena Kagan, Sonia Sotomayor, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. Now, but they said, because they said the money that was approved by Congress, the money already being approved, already being appropriated, approved. So just money for them to spend the money. So by you suspending the usage funding, they say no, it's not right. The money already approved. So let the money be spent. Okay, in the next budget, you can talk about that. But right now, let it be spent. So the 4 conservatives, they got Alito, Thomas, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh. They said no. They're siding with Trump. But the liberal justices, joined by 2 of the conservatives, the Chief Justice and the other lady, Amin Conan Barrett, said no. Congress already approved the money, spend the money. It should not be withheld. So now they left it open. So now Trump still fighting in the lower courts.
Okay.
So they still fighting in the lower courts. So
okay, so let's get the line open for
only while I can there. If then why our country are calling a speech? They want to lead the people politics. And where you're all right.
Yeah, Liberia. Liberia is simple. They're 2 small countries.
The poor man of Liberia, he said, our country, we're not important, we're not calling. It's a small thing for the leader of a free world to call our name in a major speech. When he had other big countries like Nigeria or Ghana, other type country then that receive user form. But they mention Liberia, it's not a joke. I think Liberia is a small country. How big is that?
And the president, from the start of his office, and taking off office indeed, anything he addressing, people on the money issue, Liberia name, he can't forget about Liberia. They voter confidence here, voter confidence. Trump keep mentioning Liberia in for his speech anywhere he goes or engage the public. But let's open the line so you can have your say on 0777 64 99 86. Are the numbers for you to call back home here, +231 776 49986 +231. That is a 777. So 0777 64 99 86 +231 777 64 9986 0777 64 99 86. Call and have your say on the closing argument. It's just open mic for you to participate tonight, so we can hear our callers. All right, 0777 64 99 86. I had the numbers for you to call. Caller, go ahead. Okay, Kehleboe, let's hear you. Wow, sorry, he's out. Hello, caller.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Francis Vanny. I join you from Port River, Camara Town.
Francis Vanny, let's hear you. Port River.
Yeah, thank you for the topic on the discussion. You know, Liberia is very, very more interesting. That every one of the countries in Africa want to discuss Liberia because the behavior that in Liberians is the one that suffering all. You know, Liberians, there is something one Serenian woman singing with his son. He said, Salomon, they take weapons, Salomon, for change attitude. Meaning that Liberian people, we need to change our attitude. That's the only way that Liberia will be better.
You said what I saw.
Will not go forward.
You said what I saw again. I want you again. Please.
The song.
Yeah.
In the song, they say Salomon, they take weapons, Salomon, for change attitude.
Look at that.
So meaning that Liberia make us to change their attitude. When our attitude is not changed, then Liberia will not be built.
Okay. All right. So let's change our attitude. Yo, it was just in the people mouth. The people keep discussing about us. We're again at the ECOWAS Parliament again. The people discussing Liberia again. The next caller plus 231 777 64 99 86 are the numbers for you to call. Caller, are you there? Hello? Let's say caller, go ahead. Okay, Sam.
Thank you for the discussion. So, in Liberia, everything put it on President Haiti. Well, our son will get going. Now they want to know.
Oh.
Yeah, well, pray for our country. Because we pay war, losing. And let me see if people will fall in a present. So, for example, I sit down and let me come and say, what is going in a present? Then now everything finished. Thank God. You see?
Okay.
So, I was going to myself, who I said we have to when you pray good thing, it's for everyone. Now, if I'm for what he said, but when you pray good thing, I like prayer.
Mm.
When you pray the for one time, you pass on. And you report to the football people who open one policy. So after everything, for all of these focusing, they will keep on politics. You see, I think when I'm saying, when election comes out, whenever everybody is running politics, but now you all together will be well be peace.
Okay.
Every one of us.
Okay.
Include yourself too.
Okay.
Yeah, what you want, yeah, my brother.
We hear you. Barika, we hear you. We get your advice. Thank you for calling. Plus 231 776.
So you speak Bandi?
64 99 86.
You can speak Bandi? I hear you saying Barika.
No, I said thank you, man. We listen to you.
Yeah, thank you. All right.
No, 0777 64 99 86. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm brother Abenigo, calling from Paranzio Estate.
Okay, Abenigo.
Yeah, all the callers, they make a great point. One of the things something really Liberia. They are saying that people chasing Americans today that say that after election, the country. But Liberia, after election, we see party. And the issue of the fire service, or the fire incident, we are looking at people do their dirty deeds, they do well for it to come up, so they have to cross fire to destroy evidence, but we are not seeking the interest of the country, but we are seeking interest of the party. And which of course the country is bigger than the party. So you people are journalists and other public figures, we need to see how best to erase the party and get to the country. And there are many parts to get into the system, but many the politics see the major. But after the election, that we need to see how best to push our country interest and the interest of the party. That is my impact on the show. Thank you very much for the show.
Okay, thanks for calling. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
That's a go ahead.
Yeah, Francis Bani is my name. I join you from Four River, Cameroon. I just sing the song just now, but there is something in parables by saying, woe unto a man as a woe unto you.
Okay.
This thing today that's going on with Boakai government, they did it to Joseph Boakai. Just they dress the devil. The devil insulted just we are good. He had come to his turn. So he got to be patient. As they criticize him, let him do the best thing for the Liberian people and the issue in the house.
Okay.
Please try. You're the journalists. You put their feet on the fire until we can see fanatic over to be as a speaker of the house. Because by law, the law is telling order fanatic over is a speaker. That they are so-called speaker that they have that passing around causing trouble. When you see him walking, you can see the breathing in him. Then you please calm down. Therefore, fanatic over do the work of the Liberian people. As for me, I'm from Lofa County. I'm a Bandi. I speak the Bandi, I speak the Kisi, I speak the Mende. If you want me to try it now, I can do it.
Try it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Try it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Mobandi atini awirun gwe won. Ure wa ngange ngene be nangu ayefa reduce one freedom
True FM.
How to call it?
Truth FM. Truth.
True FM.
Oh, you understand too, eh?
One thing see a falenga ngo
Committee.
awandenga ke mu committee na onga jowi ya committee ango afage. Diana ta ba ta mo te fage. Te bana na ta ko be matike.
Okay.
Ta fa ko hima wo kanga tonga kuma wo. So amu vini amu nga peshe muti biri kana moba. Sumu nga terekeni amu tu gowe ngombuya.
Okay.
Nawanga amu kanga international community te ko nga katafa gama. Yero se ha ta nga popo agenda.
Let's just wait. All people want, yeah. All people want to take banner, yeah.
But Azu, me say story. I think too many. I think if we should subscribe to that, would be good though. There are other people who follow us. They don't frequently they don't understand much. So when people call, they speaking a dialect, and not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's good. Maybe we can get it 30 seconds.
Yeah,
they'll do that. Because there are some people fighting all the way in the rural area.
Exactly.
Somebody called the poor river just now. So there are some people calling on the deep part of the villages tonight.
The team are running. I'll make sure I get people from every tribe will be on my team. And when I come on the energy I go on, when I talk, they will interpret in it. I'll make sure I pay for it a dollar there. Right, do it. You know, there was a recording I was on the air. I mean, who was doing that thing? You're related to my family. He said, "Let me put in my darling." You remember that thing? He would say,
"Yeah."
I mean, my first cousin. Oh yeah, he said, "Let me put in my darling." Yeah, let me put in my darling, man. I'm putting your darling. You know, it's my darling. He said, "Let me put in my darling."
Okay.
Hello, caller. Caller, are you there? No. I come. Let me get you on the line. Speak up, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, how you coming on?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I like the topic that you're on tonight. You know, I very appreciate this. The reason is about zero. Zero, you gotta be creative. You gotta be somebody who can think fast. Because what happened in the country, because we're not thinking about why we score a capital for what happened out of the day, we score a capital for you don't go because you need to push your majority. You used to say they take major and you children and you ball. But now you the man now in power now. Look at what happened in the nation. Look at the nation looking get water. It also no law, we 20 more one law, you know, all this thing happening. So you need to put a feet on the ground and you must think about your future. Your children, you think over your children within the country. So you should, now you should do it for your children. You should do it that other people will be able to benefit to your so that you need to change. But you didn't want to be the whole family in the country. So,
Okay.
I don't thank you.
Okay, the Bible needs to change. I hate begin the whole in the country. All right, caller, thank you there. Let's say go ahead. The next caller.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Brother Jeremiah to join from a GS0 resident.
Okay, Jerry.
Yeah, but I'm sure I'm going to take particular people referred to as leader in Liberia. Are they just are they leader or are they ruler? Because of reason, there is some issues between the police and other people to struggle. And then as a fast thinker and a leader who gets time for his people, I think there's a need that they should look into this and look into it in a direct manner. Can you imagine the motorcycle left from today in the name of the high appointment with the legislators when they got there where they are waiting for almost 2 to 3 hours plus only to go here?
Why we lost that caller? Let's pick up more. +231 777 9986. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. I just said something just now. My brother is using my voice differently. I said I'm a bunny. I can speak the bunny. I can speak the kissy. If you want me try it now, I can put it in vernacular. I did not say that I can speak my daddy.
No, not you.
I'm a very civilized man.
No, not you. He talking to, not you.
Okay.
Not you. Yeah.
I was speaking the bunny now. I want to talk. Speak in kissy now.
Okay, you want to put it in kissy.
Okay, vanania. Yandi Yanlang. Isocho Yonondo now labla. Nyajo Yonondo. Masana na kesi u lending. Which is like Kalantusa Anna. Ke ucho na interest in anite. So Yemani. Misna, I mean, to young Mecca, the Muchinji or attitude no, go Nyoma now, then they move lucky. Do Johnny, speak an no for nothing cover. I am Mama Fulanu, Kenyan that you to say how they Fulanu, I am Mama Hill, Saba Julie, I am Mama Papa Saba, and dear Uninari, Unomin to Valini. Nyama now lende mukwalaji. Onya plato yonondo a kando vanda pombo anda chu kando nyindo ajuna fula une benu chu endie uninari ta yema mafula vanda une benu chu mema sina saba okinundu lema fula na kani adiminda lema register kando na manyanum bamba na yemaye.
Okay.
So you unam mi tufalini mi kwa nyau lending latiu. So ofuro nyau.
Okay.
Do you another one in Mendy.
Okay. Okay. So okay. So let's just hold it there because all now. So what we'll do? Yeah. If you are listening to me, what you do? Just send a message on the number. Yeah, just say hi to us on this number. Yeah, that you don't want to call and you are talking your dad. We'll save it so we can give it this number. Yeah, so when the chief is out, getting you guys a number now, we just have a number of course already. Just you send or text the number. Just call, send or text on that number with your name, please. Call, are you there?
Yeah, how are you doing, brother?
Yes, sir.
This is Maurice Johnny from Garguah.
Maurice Johnny from where?
Garguah.
Okay, let's say Maurice Johnny. Let's say you.
Yeah, brother. If you look at our country, we just need a president who has the country at heart and who don't take nonsense or any government official or any citizen who try to go against the Liberian people.
But how will you know them now? How will you know them when I get a country at heart now? How will you know?
One of them is still who is singing here now.
Hey.
Majority of the Liberians were interested. They lost it up because the way Twitter had no issue. Twitter were not there when the citizens are complaining. Then you just sit there and just forget about it. You always go and make sure that the problem that the citizens are complaining on they handle. So we need to keep that. So let's try for Twitter to come back here because all the other guys have nothing to do. Seriously.
Okay. All right. Let's try for Twitter to come back. That's his video. So yeah. So let's pick the last one. We'll get back to Chief Tomalin, and then the Peabody. Caller, hello. Yes, sir. Okay, Prince, go ahead.
I'm very starting for the young country proceeding the way proceeding. But now for the one country get pushed into a state, I think tomorrow I'm going to use the state tomorrow for session. It's already starting for us. Well, we know what better going on in the country because rescue. President Boy came on the matter of rescue in the rescue like but we know how they rescue like that. They are going for 2 months. Let's say essentially what are going on in the country where everything going back up. No rule of law. They respect the rule. It's probably are respecting the rule of law. Our president was first to start respecting the rule of law. Even the majority speaker, they are respecting the rule of law. We what is going on in our country. Nothing is on path. Everything is just going downward. Nothing is on path. We're not seeing nothing. Everyone that is doing the 14 more against that post all. So nothing going on in the country like this. We know what the aftermath for the state. But then now, if I hear remain, well, at least you have to put ourselves together. At least that we're on team. At least that's doing a benefit for the monetary staying power. I'll take man. I'll talk to them. At least that push you well. But what you're there and say you're not doing nothing. So that takes a rush. You're coming out or rubber against body. Team man, you're going to start corrupt. So we want to at least to prove to all that why we are government.
Okay. All right. Thanks to you guys. Should I get back to the panelists? If necessary or possible, to get back to the phone line, we'll then open it. But I get back to our panelists.
Okay, man. Welcome back to Peabody. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. In fact, I just got the Supreme Court tomorrow, according to what I'm getting. But yeah, what it's saying in the citation. In the citation, to get a bit of information filed by the minority bloc, the Supreme Court of Liberia refers to Representative Richard Kun as purported speaker. I mean, they're not recognizing. They say you're trying to say you speaker, but you're a purported speaker. I'm like you're not a real speaker. And address Speaker Kofa as speaker of the 55th legislature. So Supreme Court clearly is tomorrow to provide a bit of information, and hope tomorrow they will put an end to this thing. And if President Boyka and Senator Yombli Kanga wants the country to move in the right direction now, the Supreme Court provide a bit of information tomorrow, make clarity on the ruling, on the opinion. It should move on. The best that can happen, go for election on new speaker or whatever the case, and then so the impasse can stop because it's affecting the country. Take it or leave it. ECOWAS rejected the people they sent there to represent the legislature. They rejected them, and they're not going to take their seat there. They rejected. Now, with this happening, it's just not. And I heard today also that they sent for 3 concession areas, management, B Mountain, I think Western Cluster, and Firestone. Firestone did not show up because apparently they're recognizing them. Who knows? But it's affecting the country. But Myean, play that video quickly, please. Let the people hear what the thing we're joking. We won't say the thing. Play it, Myean. This President Trump last night.
$5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali.
They put me for us. I thought Trump said it last night. The speaker and the vice president are laughing. Can you imagine? So there, you see we're making it up. Trump said it last night. You see we're joking. Yeah, Trump said it last night. He said he spent $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. So the day Trump get Liberia, you say, that country there, hey. So that country there, they say get any problem there.
Yeah, but typically I think most of the thing here is they most of the money went to their own people they hired to come and do training.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Definitely.
what it did. It's not like something that like Liberia had. They hired their own people to come do training and eat their own money. But again, it says for Liberia and stuff like that, So
that's that's exactly what you're saying. That's what happened. I mean, you work with NGO. I'll tell you the truth. I work with NGO before in Liberia. They'll tell you they spend $1 million, but forget it. Most of that money spent on the expatriates that they bring in. They say they must country rep. They paying for that person. They paying the rent. They giving them money for everything. All that money from them. Not even on the country side. But then they get to. We have ministry. But here's the thing now. You have ministries in the country that's supposed to regulate these people. But guess what? You know why they don't talk? They're all in the cahoot.
Yeah.
If they say, oh, they send me in Liberia to go and do something to represent some international agency that's sponsored by USAID, maybe the person coming from Sierra Leone or from Ghana or from one of these countries, the person is sent there under that tag that they representing USAID. When they get there too, they connect with the very Liberian people, officials there too, and money come. That's what happens. That's why. Look, a bunch of I have problem with what Trump is doing with the USAID stuff, but most of the things people saying, the money they spend, the guy they say they spend money for people to change from man to woman in one country, or from woman to man. I'll be frank. What you spending money for that one for? Huh? They will God make you happy, and you might change from man to woman or from woman to man. They're paying money for that one. That money you should be spending on when people around the world suffering. Huh? People suffer around the world, but you're spending money to change somebody from man to woman, from woman to man. What's that?
It's sad.
It's sad.
But America has always been like this. They always have their stuff together, and we'll see how far things go. It's a lot. Thousands of people are being affected. A lot of jobs for federal employees. They plan to cut more than $60,000 job, I believe, with Social Security and all of that. So there's a lot that's going to happen in America. Huh?
The 60,000 job you talking about? You mean America?
Y'all got 60,000 job in Liberia? I see me in America.
I didn't really be combative sometimes.
But Abu, you got 60,000 join that, bro.
Oh, we got money now.
Oh, the man said the cutting job. You cost 60,000 jobs now, bro.
Oh man, I go.
How many employees the Liberian government got?
The government employee money now no more. It should be
more than 60,000.
It should be around that.
Liberia government got 60,000 employees.
It should be around that.
Abu, please, man. That's something different. Liberia government even got good 50,000 or 40,000 employees. They're able to deal with 60,000 employees like bro.
Teachers, health workers, other ministry and line agencies.
And that's 60,000 Abu try. But the thing is,
so I'm not going to debate it, but it should be around.
But you're not going to debate because we're doing. But the thing is, guys, the Liberian government, I mean the U.S. government, they were paying $1.5 million for voter confidence. I think some of that money went to Net 2 to train people, though.
Of course.
Yep, they chopped some of that
money. What that money is small? What they put in the men's piece for? That's small money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all they can put all the big money on it.
So like we're on the radar. Either more from Africa, so you put. You see?
But listen, that's money, right?
That's the thing again, man.
I didn't want Ahmed to win an election. I swear, I didn't want Ahmed to win.
But I said, my place, me hear Trump again.
Lavish fish monitoring, $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia, $14 million for social cohesion in Mali, $59.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring, $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia, $14 million for social cohesion in Mali.
So when So, but what are people laughing for? When they call the president the bad president and the speaker laughing, why are they laughing? What are they laughing for? It seems like when I think we joke, what wrong there? In a serious country, we have confidence in our election. You all know that.
But to my, why would the man measure 1.5 million? That money very small for America.
Maybe Winfrey will tell us. Because Winfrey then Winfrey tell us.
Yeah, the U.S. politics. Eh?
Professor Kennedy said, let me say, he said, you said spend 20 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. Exactly, Professor Kennedy. Can you imagine? Why you said spend 20 million for male circumcision in Mozambique? Why should America be? I mean, let me be honest or not.
But Kennedy, most of the projects into the American assessing to implement it.
But what they gotta do what I want? What if I put that money over there for? I mean, when I was born abroad, we know I mean, you still around, but they not use money. They use money to pay money to get me second side. No.
That's nice.
No, I mean, friend, I was born in a money place, Firestone. They see that I was born, they see the second side me. I'm gonna go different than no. I left the hospital, okay. You know?
But how sure are we though?
Oh, you know what I mean? The records are there. What else to tell you? Are there. No, but again, on a short note, Firestone Hospital, do those days when they born you, they do everything right there. You know, another one again. Oh,
what he said 10 million. He said 10 million. He said misstep. Okay. So he said 10 million. He said that's for Trump's speech.
Yeah, and you see,
so instead of 20, but if he has that.
But Brother D, man, welcome. But what you mean about? I mean, my question is why Liberia or country the man are putting his speech for and the money small? What is 1.5 million out there? They can't disgrace off for. Go out on the record. Why? And the people they said that money will not even used by when I spend Liberia put all put that money in the pocket.
Yeah,
that money went to a lot of consultants.
Exactly.
From the U.S. Democracy Now, the National Democratic Institute, the International Republican Institute, all of those entities like IFES, the International Foundation of the International Foundation of Electoral Systems or something like that. Those are those are the organizations that use their funds and allow them Americans. So it's like what we call recycled donation. So that money came back to them. So I think it was just trying to highlight some of the areas and some of the issues that they thought was pretty outrageous or so to them. So. Yeah, but at least it brought some attention. It brought some unwanted attention to Liberia.
So yeah, I know every time people call Liberia, they'll say, Liberia. When you say you from Liberia, oh really? Okay. So now at least the idea that they got us there. So all the corruption, you take it. Other people know, but the country is corrupt.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was just they really put Liberia on blast though.
Yeah, put on blast. Let me frank. So Liberia was it. I see that someone explain it today now. I want to explain what happened. Oh, that now I want to explain. It was, that God will make something happen. The people know, but you're trying to hear your story because in the president of the inform all of Liberians say, I got news for you. Donald Trump coming for you. Okay, Donald Trump finna call me. Donald Trump say, JB say, you're in your comfort zone, you're enjoying that. Say, but I got news for you. Donald Trump coming. Okay, yeah. Bro, you're corrupt.
Yeah, but I don't think TMV or kind of being.
What you doing?
I don't think so.
What you doing? But
I think humanity.
Let end the Trump issue don't go on the fire on him because I really want you to maybe give some update because I know your guys and you in touch. But this
I mean the Rosa sent a minute yet?
No, he sent them, but we will talk. But let me.
But I can't attack me the other day.
I can't attack him, Mr. Russell.
Yeah, a man one night attacking the man. It's a question of put independent. The father, they put when I say by the U.S. government.
Okay.
Question of independent.
Okay. Right. So, ability. So, let's conclude with this issue with the Trump issue. This the money business. Okay. You said on a serious note, right? Why is it true that we know today the Supreme Court issue a ruling 5-4 saying the money has been appropriated for by usage should be spent, and Trump still fighting in lower courts and so forth. We're still watching what happens, but you agree that I'm sure you said it's not perfect. They have a lot of fraud, ways, and abusing, as you said. I mean, we all know they just said some stuff that is come out with money and say, "Oh, we're sending $10 million for the purpose." How much money we had to reach the target beneficiary? Reach them, and also, but the fact that you think of all the countries, why Liberia was one of those single out? Why you think Liberia and the money small?
Yeah, the money is relatively small, but Liberia has had a very long history with USAID, as you probably know this. Again, like I said, I mean it's small and insignificant, but I think they did that to send home a message that especially to his base, that every little bit. It may be small, but that amount adds up, and so he was just trying to show to his base that look, we're going all out there. It doesn't matter how small the amount may seem or how small the amount is. We're going out, and this is just to expose all the corruption that existed in USAID. And so this was just fodder for his base. There are a lot of other countries around. I mean, the U.S. gave aid to many other countries. I mean, Professor Kennedy can speak to that, I'm sure. So why this amount? I think it was just one of those things where within that category of democracy and governance and all of that, but it was just to highlight the extent of the abuse, according to them, that USAID is engaged in. And it just so happened that this small amount was devoted to election issue and election integrity, and and you already know that Trump has an issue with the whole election situation. So yes, I mean to them, I mean they see it as ridiculous payment, but a voter confidence,
So with like what Professor Kennedy is saying, so like this now, Liberia as a country, we look at that, right? We never, not us, we didn't even mess with the money, right? In other words, the 1.5 million that wasn't used by Liberia, right?
Whether it was used by Liberia or not, I mean, the fact of the matter is that they allocated money, albeit small, but the fact that they allocated money to support quote unquote voter confidence, I think that's part of what they were trying to highlight. It's not so much about the dollar amount, as Professor Kennedy is saying. It's about the ridiculousness of what they were allocating money for, whether it's male circumcision, whether it's GLBT, what is that drag queen contest or drag queen pageant or whatever. I mean, there were so many different things. So I think they're just trying to highlight not necessarily how large the amount was or how small the amount was, because in this case the amount is relatively small, right? So they were trying to, I think, expose the ridiculousness, as they see it, of what USAID was spending the money on.
So I mean, the country as a whole, Liberia should not be worried about that, right? Because it's not like
I don't think so. I don't think it's Liberia to worry about.
Get officials, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but the country is not affected.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to go after the Democrats and just tell them how woke they are, how so liberal they are, how they were just so, they are, tax and spend liberals, and they're just, spending our taxpayer money on all kinds of quote unquote ridiculous things like voter confidence, like, a drag show, those kinds of things. I think that's part of what they were trying to highlight. Say, hey, you guys look at what the Democrats have been doing, with their tax dollars. And for example, Exhibit A, voter confidence in Liberia, and what does that mean? I mean, what does that mean?
These have been over like successful Republican and Democratic government, because they all been supporting USAID, and they voted. So the Congress too, they are not immune from it, because they voted for these appropriate money. And I'm sure that when you give money, according to what I know, when you appropriate money and is approved, you get report how the money was spent, right? And so
yeah.
So I don't know why they have not raised this issue in the past, but
well, I mean, Trump is coming in, and he was elected as a disruptor. So he sees this as, so even if the conservative, compassionate guy like George W. Bush and other Republicans may have done this, I mean, it was just part of the whole, just maintaining the status quo of how things have been run. So Trump comes in there with Elon Musk, and they try to disrupt things and say, hey, this is not your business as usual. This is what these folks have been spending your money on. This is your Washington elite, and that nomenclature that includes Democrats and Republicans. It's not just exclusive to this, Democrats. So the Republicans are in the mix there too as well. It's just trying to show how out of touch these so-called elites are, and the folks on Main Street, they're out there in Oregon or in Pennsylvania and all of that. I mean, this is how these folks are. These folks in Washington, this is how they were spending their money. So so I don't think, but it clearly, Tomalin and Abu, I mean, clearly this stuff, it plays to Trump's base. This is this is part of our justification for slashing the workforce, cutting government waste. There's a lot of wastage in government. We have to cut it. I mean, for example, look at what's happening. So, it's not just a it's not just a Democratic thing. It's not just the Democrats who've been doing this. I mean, the Republicans too. Like you rightly said, Tomalin. They've been there. They've been passing these bills. They've been endorsing it. They've been pushing these things. So, Trump can say, hey, there's a new sheriff in town now. We're going to
he's drinking the swamp, right? He's drinking the swamp.
Yes, yes.
And what he said about, he said, drill, baby, drill. What?
Yeah. Drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby. Look, last night I was just laughing because look, he said, look at that, the Democrat. You can clap.
See, you can clap. You know who he reminds me of, Tomalin. And he's a little bit, even though he's a little bit, not a little bit, he's way more sophisticated and stuff. But they sort of common, common man approach. You're coming down to people's level and stuff. He reminds me of George Weah. It's just that he's a little he's a little different. I mean, he sort of disrupts all the established norms, diplomatic and also and other norms and etiquettes and all of that. It's just like throw all of that stuff through the window. He sort of come down and sort of try to relate to the average person. That's his kind of deal.
The guy got me laugh. He said, yo, can't even for God, you can't even clap. Give me one clap. Say, at least you're begging. He said, I can't clap. Then he said, he went to Elizabeth Warner. He said, she was saying, no, Pocahontas. I mean, look, the guy.
And he knows, Tomalin, he knows how to get under people's feet.
Oh, no.
He knows, man. Yeah, man. And those Democrats, they were so pissy mad. They were so pissy mad.
That's want to go Al Green. He's
Yeah, they put him outside. Look.
Yeah. I mean, he gets under your skin, he gets under your feet, he gets under your foot. Yeah.
You want to know? Look.
No.
That's American democracy, man. Look, the people.
Yes.
Man, when you vote, that's what happened when you elect.
Well, election, as they say, election has consequences. You know?
Yeah, you see, and today the Republican controls the House, the White House, the Senate, the House, even the Supreme Court, everything in their control today. But again, we pray. Look, so now I pray one of these days that just imagine a senator in this country, Abu, can put a hole, can filibuster and say, I'm not gonna take my seat. But in like, bro, man,
I don't know. Do the senators have such power like they do here? Like the senator can block a whole bill or block, I mean, like remember John McCain and healthcare law.
I mean, Winfrey can do it, but the problem is that the minute you start making that noise, the next thing they send somebody from the executive machine to go there.
And come with a brown envelope.
Go there. And next thing you see people leaving the chamber, taking a break, go. Then they say, let's go to the executive session. Yes. And you see it. But if you have men and women who
principle-minded men and women,
they won't let that. It won't happen. Because for instance, right? Just imagine when having confirmation hearing, you are witnessing recently. They had to beg some people. They had some keep. Three senators said they were no on certain nominee for Trump. They were no, and they had to start talking to them one by one, begging them. But in like, bro, man, they said, man, don't worry, you'll go through. Don't worry, you'll go through. And you saw the one where this guy, what's his name? When the first guy Trump nominated for Attorney General.
Oh yeah, Matt.
Yeah. But that's saying, man, the post said no. The post said, oh, but guess what? And had it been our country, and Trump, we wanted that guy to be Attorney General. But Trump, they told Trump, man, they can't make it. We love you, but we can't be the Attorney General. That the most powerful man in the country, no law enforcement officer can't do it. And they pushed back. He tried it. After Trump realized that he wasn't going to get a vote, he said, my man, Jerry resigned. They withdraw. They will not succeed. So that's the problem in the country. But in Liberia, we take one time. Remember, there was a couple of years ago, our senator was in this country. We were riding together. We were talking. They were talking about the shutting down the government. So I told the president, I said, you see how these guys are important in this country. Just imagine they need to compromise. They need bipartisan support for the avoid a government's shutdown. But in Liberia, they'll tell you your budget can pass quick. Boop, pass your budget. You don't waste time. You can pass the budget quick because you want to get your share from there. I say we pray for that day to come, Liberia, where there will be one senator will be a swing vote or a key point. But have you ever heard in Liberia where the vice president broke a tie vote? No way. It won't happen.
It happens here quite often. Yeah.
It so happened that the guy, the defense secretary, right?
Yeah.
He tried to run on the floor to go and break that vote. Because three people voted against him. You know, it's a sad thing. It's very sad though. But we pray, maybe not our generation, but maybe one of these days when we have principled men and women in the House and the Senate of Liberia, we will reach that point where they'll stand up for the Republic and not for their own
for their individual interests.
Yeah, but so Russell, let's talk about this fire incident, the fire investigation. First of all, the guys are they back in the States now?
They've left. They're arriving today. They are a friend of this program. They've been here multiple times, and we even talked to them prior to them leaving. So, but no, they should be back by now. But they left last night. Liberia's time.
Because I was told that we see reports floating around in social media. Because they said they wasn't going to release or make a report public, but the report that we see on social media, are they from them?
Yeah, copies of the report was given to the president's office, and I think some may have been made public. I author a story that appeared in the Daily Observer today actually. It was on the front page in the Daily Observer today about some of the findings of the report.
Wow.
So it's out there, but the government still has not officially, as far as I know, it may have done it today. I think they're maybe planning a press conference. I don't know if it's been officially released yet, but it is around. It is around.
But I see some media institutions and other people attacking them. I mean, I've not read the report. I was busy with burial the whole weekend, so I've not had time to really follow the show and so forth. But I see people trying to be go after them, that they were just took a side or whatever the case. But what's the understanding about
well, if you read my article, the article which are based on the findings of the report, the report says that, I mean, it clearly corroborated what the police have been doing, or the police did prior to them coming there. So the whole investigation by the police. The report says that the fire was intentionally set. A lot of incendiary material that was used there, clearing the air, that it was caused by arson. But in fire investigation, they will not say that it's arson. So they will say that these are the materials that were used. It was clearly somebody set the fire. So arson is a technical term that a lot of folks in fire investigation or fire investigators would use. Incendiary is a technical term that a lot of fire investigators would use, and arson is more of a legal and criminal term where a prosecutor will come in. The prosecutor is the one who's going to determine whether it's arson or not. But what the report says, in short, is that the fire was intentionally set, and there were some incendiary materials that were used to set the fire, and enable the fire to spread as wide as it did.
Abu, what's you got any thoughts on the fire investigation and the conclusion so far?
The first thing I already know on the intensity of the document is being spread on the platform. I want to know as to whether you guys that were here have conducted the conducted or carry on an investigation. They should be the one validating what is out there, that they are the one that posted out there. Until then,
yeah. So I mean, they promised that they were going to be on this show, so we're waiting until they get back, and I'll try to arrange to see if you all are interested in having them. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, sure.
Bring some of them back to ask them some questions. But the approach, the methodology that was used to conduct the investigation, everything was laid out. They interviewed a lot of people there on the ground. They worked very closely with the Liberia National Police and the Liberia National Fire Service. They interviewed, a bunch of folks that took over with them some technological tools that they were able to utilize to determine the outcome that was determined, and so everything is spelled out in the report. The report clearly. So now that they've given the report to the police, it's up to the police and the Justice Department to go after, to continue with their investigation to find out. Okay, now the fire investigators, combined, they have about 100 years of experience. So these people know what they were doing. They were fire investigators, the former fire fighters, they were former fire chiefs. So they went there and they were able to analyze the crime scene and analyze a lot of the things around that they found. They did their DEX review prior to going. So it was a completely thorough investigation that they did, and so it would be great to talk to them one-on-one to find out what informed the decision, the findings that they came up with. And it doesn't matter what side you're on. There are people pulling here, they're pulling this, and they're interpreting it the way they're interpreting, because the people didn't use the word arson, and the police chief or the president views arson, and the people didn't use arson because there were two different things. I mean, what the investigators were going to say, the words that they're going to use. I mean, these are professionals, right? Professional fire investigators. So they know what they're saying. They're not going to use the words that the prosecutors or others will use. But it's the same. I mean, it's one and the same. So incendiary material, arson, I mean, they're related. They're very related.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, related.
But Wilfred, a lot of Liberians are beginning to voice up concern, say that these guys have known the police director before. They are friends with the police director. People are saying that the investigation 2 days or 3 days, and how did the report get leaked to get out there so quickly? That other media were taking it. So a lot of Liberians are voicing concern. They're saying that they also had a problem with one of the investigators, according to the Front Page Africa newspaper. He did talk about one of the investigators and the credibility, not of one of the investigators. And so people, some Liberians are a bit concerned. But I know they are professional. I mean, they were doing their work, but a lot of people have concern about one of the fire chief there, his credibility, and then talking about how they did a report. They don't know whether the government are aware, but the report already out there. How did that even leak to get up to a media?
Okay, so there are a couple of things. One, I would tell you, Dr. Peabody, and Tomalin, I would just sign up, that I know for a fact, 110%, they did not know Gregory Coleman. They don't know Gregory Coleman, did not know Gregory Coleman from Adam. My credibility too, is on the line. And you guys, not only are you guys my guys, but we are professionals.
Right.
And we have no reason to come here publicly in your presence,
right,
and lie to you. Gregory Coleman didn't know them from Adam. So people are going to spin it however way. You may disagree with some of the things that the police may have done in the past or other things, but Gregory Coleman, and we were on another media platform last week, Sunday, and Chief Perlman, the lead investigator, said it publicly that the first time he even heard of the name Gregory Coleman was about maybe a month ago now, when I introduced him to Gregory Coleman, and the first time he saw Gregory Coleman was when he arrived in Liberia to conduct this investigation. They did not know Gregory Coleman. However, they've known President Boyka during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration. Many of these fire chiefs have been going to Liberia, training and building the local capacity of the Liberia National Fire Service. So that is true. Okay, but Boyka didn't call them. President Boyka didn't call them or invite them there. When Gregory Coleman has a home in Liberia, in Minnesota. So he came here. I mean, even though he has a home here, but he lives way outside of the metro area. the epicenter of the Liberian immigrant community in Minnesota is Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center. I mean, you guys know that, Dr. Peabody, you know that, Tomalin, you know that, you know. So where Gregory Coleman lives, let me see. I mean, it's kind of like you living in where you live in Trenton, and Gregory Coleman lives like you know somewhere like somewhere in New Jersey, on the coast of New Jersey, there somewhere, but far away, you know. So he doesn't even live around where, you know, a lot of folks live. And the reason I mentioned that is because he doesn't know these guys. So just because, you know, his family lives here doesn't mean that he knows them. And these guys are from Minnesota. It doesn't mean he know them. He didn't know them, you know. So that's one. So the other piece.
Oh, sure.
He didn't know them. Okay. The other piece, Dr. Peabody, is that when the time to win, and those guys took tools. They were not running a parallel investigation. The investigation they pick up from where the investigation stopped, and that's where they picked up from. And if you were to read the report, and I'm sure you guys would get the report. I mean, if you were to read the report, it will show you the methodology that they use. I mean, the whole process, and all of the people they interviewed and the people they talked to. I mean, these are consummate professionals. These are people who know what they're doing. So they got there. They were in country about 5 days. They got there. It took them about 3.5 days or so to arrive at the conclusion. I mean, they took some tools there. They did a DEX review. They had they interviewed people. So the fact that folks are saying, "Oh, it should take 1 month or 10 days or however long," not necessarily. They went there. They had a pretty narrow scope, and to be able to come up with a conclusion, and they did that, and they put the report together. These people not going to compromise their credibility for Liberia. I mean, like why? Like for Joseph Boyka or for Gregory Coleman? No, if you have an angle, and I'm not part of. I mean, you know this, Dr. Peabody. I'm not part of Unity Party government. I'm not a spokesperson for Unity Party government or anything of President Boyka. But we are there to give a hand and support the country as best as we can, and that's what we've been doing. That's how we've been able to leverage whatever connections that we have to help to make this happen. But people can tear it apart and pick it here and pick it there. But I can tell you, I mean, as far as I know, and I know, Gregory Coleman did not know these people. They know President Boyka, but it's not like, oh, ability, with buddy, cool, we're chilling, kind of stuff. They can't even tell you the last time they spoke to President Boyka. So because they know of him, I mean, okay, they know of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf too as well. At least they know of them, but they have no idea who Gregory Coleman was. They've never even heard the name.
I mean, and that's but other Liberians will really, I mean, they're coming up with a lot of stuff. But are you aware on how much was the price of bringing them and how much they paid them? How much the Liberian government paid them? You got any idea?
No, I wasn't party to that part of the conversation, and what we said on another network over the weekend, and Chief Parliament said it. I mean, and I'm quoting him because prior to hearing that from him, I did not know all of the financial arrangement and negotiation. I still don't know. What I do know is that when I participated in the conversation, the level at which I participated in the conversation was around, paying for the room and board to get to Liberia, but because they've been to Liberia so many times, because they've been working. I mean, they've been on this show, many times. I mean, we all know them. We've interviewed them. I mean, especially Chief Parliament, so they've been back and forth in Liberia, and so they decided to drop all of the things that they were doing here and step forward to try to help. But I don't know exactly how much they were paid. But what he said on the last appearance we had together was that they received stipends. Now, how much the stipend was, and he said it was nothing compared to what they make here or what they left to go there to help the Republic out. It was nothing compared. It was 35%, about maybe 35% of what they would typically get here in the U.S.
Okay. All right. Welcome, Lofa. Good to see you. The fire report is out. Liberia makes. I don't know whether it's the official report from the government or it's from just people saying it. But Liberia makes.
I think confirm. It's the official report for them.
Did you hear what I said, Abu?
No, that's what I said.
I think okay. So we don't know. We saw another media running with it yesterday. The breaking news. And Lofa, welcome, Lofa. Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Peabody, and Abu, good to see you back. I know you were on your sabbatical, but thank you.
I'm fasting, Chief. I'm fasting.
You're fasting? Okay. So that means you're not supposed to talk politics. You know that, right? But and, of course, to my brother, Russell. Thank you for being here. My view on this whole fire report is the government in herself actually put these people in the predicament they find themselves in. The repetition, all right, because they worked in reverse. If you all can recall, we were here when the police IG came up and mentioned arson. Okay. And I said, are we prepared to make such claim? Now, you cannot come out publicly and make such claim, then go back and say, let us invite public investigators, okay? The public investigators were coming to provide some level of clarity. But at that point, considering the toxic political environment that we find ourselves in, you would think that they would have been very skeptical and say, okay, considering this is what we have today, this is the political capital. This building right here is heavily engulfed with politics. You cannot distance politics from this. We must be careful in how we, pursue anything about this. Let us first and foremost invite independent investigators to work alongside with our national police and that of our firefighters so that they can investigate the entire process and then provide report. That way their report would have been in sync. And if anything else, whoever else want to maybe make some claims, they can then invite their independent investigators to hopefully make some clarification. Unfortunately, what they did was they put these people character on the line. Now, Liberians who are claiming that these people worked with President Barkat before and that therefore they are concerned, they have legitimate concerns. Let's be realistic about this. We can in no way, shape, or form say we will play blind eye to this because Gregory Coleman's statement in that press conference is what got people thinking, why can't we think this way? I don't think he was actually in the position, yet and still he did. So, like Abu said, if this is the actual report, then I think Liberians have the right to come out here and question certain things and not to just grab it and run with it, especially when they're considering the fact that there may have been some kind of relationship. Now, what I don't want people to run around with is simple. Don't just say because President Boycott knew these people before, so that means they may have compromised the entire process. No. How many of you in the United States here are friends with police officers? And when you're pulled over, if you are to be cited, you get cited. Okay, you will get the citation. How many of you, some of you are friends with legal practitioners who probably may tell you at some point in time, I cannot represent you, I may have to recuse myself. Or to some extent, you are pulled over and you get that citation because they have to get a job done. Okay, I don't think that those, those guys who have worked all their life, the career, will put their career and their repetition on the line to defend Gregory Coleman or President Joseph Boycott. I doubt it strongly, but we must also be cognizant of the fact that we are in a heated political situation. The moment is toxic with toxic political rhetorics and views. So of course, you will hear all of these criticism. It's now up to the government to provide that balance as to what people think of it. If they really want to be objective in the entire process, maybe they should invite another group of independent investigators to come and give their perspective on the entire fire issue. But I think everyone who is being skeptical, everyone who is concerned of the final report, have every legitimate reason to be concerned about the report, especially when it comes to the relationship with President Boycott and the fire chiefs, or if there was some kind of relationship with Gregory Coleman, which my brother Russell spoke to earlier, that he's not aware of any relationship prior to this incident, or actually upon their arrival in Liberia, where they met Gregory physically. But I think, to be honest with you, we all must consider this and wait, hopefully, for the final. When the government released this report, if what is being stated in the release, okay, or leaked report, then maybe we can come here to discuss it. But if Liberians are now concerned based on the leaked report, which I'm a little concerned about, that in less than 3 days, this report is leaked and it's out there, and media institutions are discussing it as though it is the legitimate report. I'm concerned about the security of the state. If it can happen like this, if it happened like that, I think we should be very concerned that I don't know whether we even have security to protect the nation. But with that said, I mean, that is just my view. I'm a little concerned about what is going on. Their view, I'm saying again, it is what it is.
But yeah, is it what most people are concerned about is why is it that the police director is only inviting people from the minority bloc? They are not invited one people from the minority bloc.
One person, right?
Yeah. And today we saw the speaker going out there today, Speaker Kofa. But I think this is not a one-way game. Let's be realistic. I mean, they all were there. They all had some kind of stuff going on that day. You can't just hold one group of people. Okay, so other people can say, you know what? He's only investigating us, and now they got an investigation out there. Who knows whether he's not going to go back to the majority bloc and say, hey, we're going to arrest these guys and put them, or even interview one person from the minority bloc, which I think it seemed like a one-side justice that has been applied today. One side, and I think this is concerning to like that Honorable Snow said yesterday. He said, folks are breaking the law, and because the executive are on the side, so they can break the law, they can do this, they can seize people pay, they can block people from going to this group, and all of that. Had anybody from the majority bloc being invited to ask them if they saw anything going on? So it kind of shows that this investigation is only talking to the minority bloc, you see, and the Liberian people are concerned about that, Russell. The Liberian people are very concerned, I
mean, one of the things I can tell you guys is that, Lofa, great seeing you again. But one of the things I can tell you guys is that I know nothing about the processes. I have no background. I have no experience in law enforcement or fire operation and fire investigation and police investigation. So I'm only sharing with you what I know about. And the three of them, appeared on their show. They've not been on any other show except this show. I mean, the three of them, they appear here. And, prior to going to Liberia. So I can only talk to you about that aspect of it. And I know, and I'm 100% certain that Gregory Coleman did not know them prior to going to Liberia. He had not seen them. He had not met them before. He didn't know anything about them. He saw them for the very first time when they landed in Liberia. So there was no prior relationship or prior knowledge. And so the stuff about, them being, compromised, because they know President Boyka, come on, I mean, these guys, and if you don't have the credentials, I will send you the credentials. Email it to Tomalin so you can send it to you also. Once they arrive, we can have them back on the show and we'll be able to ask them. But I think the whole thing about them being retired. So once you retire, then you lost your mind. You all of the knowledge that you've acquired over the years. You put that aside. Now, that's just ridiculous. Why they decided to come now in the investigation, even though they have been a press conference and statements made indicating that it was an arson attack. I mean, I don't know which one of them you were referring to, Lofa, but one of the comments that I heard from Gregory Coleman was that, based on our preliminary investigation, all of what we've seen leads us to believe that this was an arson attack. I don't know, and I did not hear what the president said, or but the press conference that I listened to and what Gregory Coleman said, that's part of what he said. He did not say definitively, we know for a fact this was arson. He said all of the signs that we've seen leads to arson. I mean, that's a whole different conversation than saying that this was arson. And right. If you read the report and what the folks have said, and if you go on Daily Observer, I wrote an article about this based on the findings, based on the final report. And when fire investigators, they will not use the word arson. That's not in their wheelhouse. They don't do that. It's the criminal prosecutor or it's a or the legal authority that's going to come out and say, based on the investigation by the fire investigators and all of the materials that they said they found there and that the analysis showed were there, this is arson. That's how the conclusion is drawn. So it's so no one should expect the fire investigators to come and tell you arson. They don't do that. That's not how they operate.
So, Russell, let me just say this, right? I don't think it is the lingo that is of much concern
to you, maybe, but because in other places, that's part of what people have been picking apart.
Okay. If people are much concerned about it, again, that you rightfully said, because of the position, the role they are playing, there are certain things that have to be very careful with. But here's my concern. You mentioned what Greg said in his conference. He also in his conference said that they were able to determine that it was arson based on the color of the flame of the fire. He said that during his press conference. He said the color was blue. Okay, and I can play the video here. He may mention that. So when you stand for a press conference and you are making this statement, you are definitely being defended, you're confirming your view on what you said. He said, yes, this is awesome because based on what we saw, the color of the fire. Go back and go back and watch go back and watch that. Okay, so now you're being very definitive to say, yes, I know what I'm talking about based on these claims. This is what I'm using as my position to make the statement that I'm making. That's part of the reason why I said earlier that their decision to work in reverse got these professional men to sit now and allow Liberians to critique or probably criticize jobs that could be done in other places, and people applaud them for the level of water efficiency or the time and how prompt they were with making sure that data were obtained and made available to the public within a very short period of time. But because of the missteps in the process, we are here today. Now people are trying to justify something that we should have been celebrating their contribution for. We should have been sitting here today. Now, let me remind you, I spoke of this earlier, and I don't know whether you got it. I said this entire case, whether or not you want to accept the reality, is highly politically motivated. So if they were to come out today and say, we saw no sign of what was stated by the police investigator or the IG, you still would have had folks from the other side. UP folks would have been out here making the case that these guys don't know what they're talking about, even though their government invited them to investigate the entire scene. Today, vast majority of folks that are criticizing or thinking on the other side to say, okay, we are concerned based on the relationship, if there was one. I'm not certain about that because I don't know whether they and Gregory Coleman had any kind of relationship. Neither do I know about the relationship with former Vice President Barkai, now President Barkai. But people will use these things because it is a political case. So, but we cannot dismiss the reality. What I'm excited about is the level of involvement from the public in these kind of things. And that's why I'm saying I'm excited that Liberians are getting involved in these things. They are critiquing them. Hopefully our government can take you and actually act upon the public views. These things are very critical to our forward movement. If we start to listen to the public input and listen to these rhetoric, not those who are simply trying to sensationalize the conversation because of they simply want audience or they want you. No, I think we should look at the nitty-gritty of it. Give these guys the opportunity to appear on various platforms and give us what methodology may have been used, what mechanisms were put in place, and hopefully make the needed clarity as to what is being done. Again, I want to close on this note. My concern is this. The fact that this report leaked so early, I am concerned about the security of the state. This report right here, you will think that it probably should be reviewed and hopefully, just decipher in a much more better way than what happened here. Now it's out here and people are discussing. If this is the actual report, I'm concerned about what could happen next in Liberia. That tells me that, boy, too many things happening in the country. But again, I know when they have to listen to what people are saying, Liberians, not all of us are being appreciative of their commitment, the sacrifice to go to Liberia and do a piece of job for us to help in investigating, and people are not appreciating the work. I think they probably would not be so happy about it, but the government put them in this predicament, and I think that's part of the reason why they're doing it.
Go ahead, Wilfred. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lofa. So what I would say to you all is that I'm not sure how the report got leaked, but I do know that I wrote an article and it's in the Daily Observer about the findings of the report. So if you want some background information, you can go on the Daily Observer. It's there. It's on the front page. The front pages of the Daily Observer. You know, we have had these guys here on this platform. We can have them again. I arrange that. We have them, and so once the report is made public, you all will have access to it. I will send you the credentials, and so we can take a look at it and get prepared. I mean, you know, and just read the report, and you know, and be prepared to engage them and ask questions. I mean, a lot of the reason they did part of what they did, you know, as I've laid out here before, I don't know. I'm not a fire investigator. I'm not a criminal investigator, police, or you know, or fire for that matter. But I can tell you a lot of what people are saying about them being compromised because they know Gregory Coleman or President Boyka. That's like flat out lie. I mean, that's not true. I mean, yes, they know President Boyka, but President Boyka have had no interaction with them. His office didn't call them. His office didn't invite them. You know, his office didn't have anything to do with them. You know, they did meet with him on their way out of the country and presented a report to him, and that was, you know, that was it. But you know, you don't have to take my word for it. Let's wait on when they get here. They're still coming in. They left yesterday, so they should be in here today. So maybe sometime this week, the end of this week or next week, you know, we can have them on the show and then grill them.
So Russell, let me just say quickly, right? As far as their credentials, I have no doubt about it. Prior to all three individuals appearing on here, I think they came on here 3 times. I did due diligence. All right, I went through and I know I have no doubt, all right, about their ability to do what they were able to do. There's no question about that. So I would not dare question their credentials. This is not somebody who just a group of people who went and obtained some kind of associate's degree and then wanting to behave like they are overly smart or experts at a specific area. Besides, they have worked several years in this particular area. But what I'm reminding people of, the issue here is that you're dealing with a case that is heavily
it's politicized. Yeah.
Thank you. And because of that, and because of the government's decision to work in reverse as compared to having to go forward, that's why people are even critiquing this. Had they done that in the first place, when that incident took place, and I can say this, and had they said, okay, we will invite multiple independent investigators, Chief Parliament and his crew, another team, and then have them work alongside with the National Police and our fire service and provide a report. I can tell you today, all this yapping we're hearing around here will not be going on because you're not telling us 3 independent sources will come out and just promote to say, hey, we want to work together to lie about something. I doubt it. But now we are trying to justify, or we're trying to play defense when people are concerned, and they're focusing on 2 things here: the relationship, the relationship. That's all they're talking about. They're not talking about the legitimacy of the report and the methodology that may have been used. What technology will put into place, and I know for a fact, based on several things. The fact that I have had opportunity, I work with injured and other firefighters who have provided support to institutions, and there are so many technology out there that requires limited time, even to make determination. There are technologies out there that you can just, all you need to do is shoot at the spot, and it dictates what is going on. But because of the political nature of this case, now these men who have sacrificed or volunteered their service will be scrutinized, and I don't think we should have any problem with it. Let Liberians be a part of the process. Let them scrutinize their work, their contribution, regardless of whether it was volunteer but let them do their work and let the government act accordingly.
But my concern here has only been I got no problem in the integrity of those guys. I think they are great. I think they know the job. I think they were prepared and know what they were going to do. I don't have a problem with them at all. My only concern here is with the Liberian National Police investigation. Why are you only targeting one side? Why are you not inviting everybody else to come? Everybody, the executive support is the people that you're not calling, but the one that the executive is not supporting is the one that been saying as the one who committed the crime. They have been saying, all of that. There's not one person.
I was going to ask you though, have they stated what motivates their decision to only focus on one group? That have they said anything about that?
They said nothing.
Wow.
They said nothing. And this seemed like a real they seem like very biased by the police. I mean, because from day one you have Soko, you have everybody else from the minority bloc of Speaker Kofa. Now today you managed to squeeze Speaker Kofa in there. I mean, the investigation would have been great if it were not politicized. Because I think what this is it's only to implicate Speaker Kofa and force him into his resignation. That's what this is about. Unfortunately, this beautiful investigation that was done by these experts will be politicized. It would definitely be politicized. They will try to bring it because the government themselves is showing their own biases here right now. You got this useless speaker out there just totally disorganized. The whole legislature have been disorganized because you support one person who is not doing the right thing and you do not want to go by the law. You got this useless guy called Richard Cohn. You calling him speaker, you pumping money into him. Now everything is divided. This investigation would have been fair if they had only respected the rule of law. It's not. They already started pointing finger from day one when the Capitol building was on fire. You don't know. The other folk could have done it to put it on the other group. Who knows that the majority bloc didn't start this fire to put it on the minority bloc? Who knows? They could be the one there. That what the speaker said. There were police. There were other people assigned to the Capitol building. Interview them and see what happened. This investigation by the expert should be the one to set the base for the investigation. It should be the one. But the government, the police have all politicized this. And unfortunately, they will spend money in this great report. I don't see anything happening in the long term because everybody know now that they are proceeding with biasly. That's how they are proceeding, just to get the other people to give into them and let it go. So it's bad, but I don't have any problem with investigation. To be honest, I believe in the credibility of those people, but the police have already compromised. They already compromised in their own investigation. Robert, go ahead.
Thank you guys. Great conversation so far. Winfrey, great to see you. But I won't question the credentials of the fire chiefs. I think that there's no doubt that they are experts in their in their area. They've done this for a long time. They've worked in that field, and so I definitely would not question the foundings that has been put forth. Based on what I've read, again, only in Liberia that we try to interpret it, something that is clear when presented. All right, just like the Supreme Court ruling, everyone wants to interpret the Supreme Court ruling when the Supreme Court says what the Supreme Court says. rather than looking at what was said and just being guided by that, right? So I think based off of what I've read so far in that report, the report basically told us the cause of fire, which is incendiary, right? Something that is inflammatory, something that is designed to cause fire, right? And one can say something that is designed to cause fire intentionally, right? And so the report is clear. That's about what it says. Now, that's one aspect of it. They have that report. The second aspect that is troubling to me is the fact that the police, because I understand that there are two different investigations: the fire investigation and what was the cause of that, and then there's a criminal investigation, right? Who was responsible, and what charges, to pull forth. Now, the police have been ahead of themselves in this aspect, which they have indicted people already. They have arrested individuals. They have, incarcerated folks, and yet and still, they have not concluded on an investigation. Because you can't tell me that you've concluded on a criminal investigation and you are still having folks come in for questioning. It just doesn't make sense. I'm glad that these guys came in the country and they've conducted the fire investigation. So we know now what caused the fire. What we don't know from the conclusion that I've read is that we don't know who is responsible for that. We don't know, and there's nothing that, from my perspective, that I read in the report that clearly points to who's responsible for it. All right, and I stand corrected. But yet, instead, the police have already indicted folks. I listened to his interview, and I listened to a portion of the interview prior to the report being released, where he said there is no one in Liberia with the expertise and the knowledge and the tools to conduct an investigation to come up with the conclusion or the findings that we have come up to, which, in my perspective, again, put a dent or put a question mark on if the police argues that they were using the fire report from the fire department in Liberia to move forward with the criminal case. Again, it raises a question as to what tools did they use, what evidences, guided the police indictment and guided the police decision, or the attorney general decision to arrest these folks. What proof, what evidences guided them to indict these folks? And again, I might be crazy, but if you're done with an investigation, if you already have your suspects, if they've been indicted, they're incarcerated, why are we still having folks coming for questioning? So it's clear here that this investigation, from the criminal to now, at least up until now, is incomplete. You cannot have a complete criminal investigation and you're still asking for questions. It's one thing for the police to say we have identified suspects, but we will wait to put together our case and gather the evidences, right? So that we can go to the attorney general to say, listen, I think we've got enough to make an arrest and to make an indictment. We see every single day, not just in this country, in many other countries, I won't even say developed countries, where people are very patient. You can see, I was watching a documentary the last time about, it's called Don't F with Cats, about a young Canadian who basically, came up with this whole script about, killing a cat, and a young man, and made up this crazy story. But leading up to his arrest, until he got on the plane and fled Canada, the police were 80% convinced that they had the guy. But there were no arrests made because they had not gathered sufficient evidence to make an indictment. So you don't prematurely arrest people, incarcerate them, doubt them, and then you're still taking question. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. So you have an incomplete criminal investigation. Meanwhile, you have folks that you've identified and you have already charged, okay, and they're incarcerated. So I want to see what the police do with this report. If I was the lawyers of these guys, and if I was the opposition, because again, this is politicized. To your question, Tomalin was talking about why is it that they just focus on one side, which is the side that don't support Unity Party, the opposition side. I will be so outraged right now if I was a CDC or any opposition for that matter, and I will be calling on the state to immediately release those that they have incarcerated until they have consolidated the fire report and the criminal case. They have not concluded it. If they had, Speaker Kofa would not have been at the police station today answering questions. These questions should have been answered, and it should have been part of their initial report, which would have informed the decision for an indictment. So we're doing things backwards. But I am not prepared. I have a lot of questions for the chiefs, and I will wait for them to come on. But I'm not prepared at this moment to question, their credibility. I don't think there's much there to question. I think people whose minds have already been made up will make up their mind. Listen, whether they were paid, I don't expect these guys to fly to Liberia because they love Liberia so much to purchase their own plane ticket to go to Liberia to have an investigation. Even if they were paid, I don't think they were paid because the government don't have money to pay them. I think maybe they were given some kind of honorary, right? And so I won't call that pay, but they deserve something for their time. These folks, they've spent thousands of dollars to go to school. They are experienced. You don't expect them to go to Liberia, purchase their own ticket, be responsible for their own accommodation, right? Transportation, and then you don't give them anything for even, water. I mean, so none of this has anything to do with the credibility of the report, right? But I think we need to take our time, peruse the report. We need to ask questions. But the question that I'm going to ask is with the government. If you're still doing an investigation, there should be no reason why those guys are incarcerated. You should identify potential suspects, okay, until your investigation has concluded, and the state can publicly say we have enough to arrest and indict or charge these folks. This is nonsense. It's all politics. So these guys should. I will sue the state. In fact, I will sue the state because again, these guys have suffered trauma. They have been incarcerated. They have been beat up by police. I've seen them transported from the temple of justice. The way they've been treated like the criminals. We still don't know what evidences they have against these guys. Okay, and so when a report comes out and says it's incendiary does not say it's arson, for instance. So it contradicts the police report, the arson and all of this stuff that they were talking. It contradicts that totally. So there's a lot of questions here. There are a lot of complications here, and again, it raises questions about the professionalism of our men and women, serving Liberia. Are they serving the country? Are they prioritizing their professionalism and their expertise, or are they serving the president or political party? This is the reason why we are where we are right now. Because if this was about truly identifying what caused the fire to prevent future occurrences, then we would not be, politics would not even be a part of this stuff. And I'll close on this note. And if the president had any interest in not politicizing this matter, he would not have preempted the situation. He had no idea before an investigation started, calling people who did it hooligans. And then the Austin, how did you know that hooligans did it? How did you come up with that conclusion? So we all need to calm down. I will respect this chief parliament. I will respect this thing. I have a lot of questions about it, but my majority of my questions to the police: why do you have folks incarcerated when you have an incomplete investigation?
So, Robert, let me ask you a quick question. Tomalin, I'm sorry, if you don't mind. First of all, where did you obtain the report you're referencing in your statement? Where did you obtain it?
I have the report. I'm gonna tell you where did I obtain the report. I can share the
Okay,
report.
what network? So, okay, so
I
you
didn't,
have the report.
I didn't obtain any report for Spawn. That's not the report.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking you. Where did you obtain the report you're referencing?
I can't give you my source, but I've read the report, and the findings, the cause of the fire is incendiary. When the report comes out, you're going to see that.
So incendiary, that's in just to make you understand a few things here, is the technical term, the technical description of the war arson. All right.
No. I already asked that question. Absolutely not. That's not. It's not a definitive term. Incendiary, incendiary means it's designed to cause fire. Something be designed to cause fire cannot automatically mean it's also.
All right. So Robert, let me say this first. Let me say this, right? I think this is part of our problem. You know, when these things come up, and I'm glad that this conversation is being held, and that's why I said earlier, I think at time we work in reverse. I think it would only be fair if we were to give the government the chance to provide the original report. We can discuss based on what we think is out there. I mean, we can assume, we can make all of our, come up with all of these assumptions, but until that authentic report is made available to the public, where we can say the president have affixed his signature to that document. All of what we are saying here is, and I think we're just speculating.
No, we're not speculating. Stop. We're not speculating. We are in news. We have a platform. No, I don't want you to say that. You are discrediting people. No.
You're speculating because you can't even validate. You can't even validate the report you're talking about.
I don't own an explanation of
validation. You don't own an explanation. But here's the thing.
I don't have.
Robert, you let me talk. Robert, you let me talk. Robert, you let me talk. Robert, hold on 1 second. Robert, let me talk. Hold on 1 second. Robert, let me land. First and foremost, the fact that you cannot even authenticate what you're speaking of, it simply tells me that you're not even certain as to whether this is the report that was provided. Now, when this report is provided, like the rightfully said, when the fire chief and others were on here, they told you that they were not going to make this report available to the public. They will present it to the government, and it will be left with the government to decide as to whether they want to make this report public. So when I hear, that's the reason why I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I asked you, which report are you reading and where did you obtain this report? You're telling me you cannot state your source. So that leaves me in doubt. So I am left to think that you're assuming, you're speculating on everything that is stated until that document that is considered authentic is provided. I think all we are doing here.
Okay, so let me step in for a second. Again, you are absolutely wrong. That's your opinion, and I will respect if you state this is my opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. It's not your own facts. Now, you will make sense, and I want you to process this for a second. Right? You need to slow down sometimes. You will make sense if the report had not been released. To question whether or not I've read something because the government have not released it. The people
released the report?
1 second.
Who released the report? That's why I asked you.
Listen, my friend, you told me to give you a chance to land. So let me land now. Okay?
Yeah, who released the report?
The report has been
in your response.
Has the report not been given to the government?
That's what I'm saying. What are the reports?
No, I'm asking you, has the report not been given to the government?
Has the government released?
Okay, so if the report has been given to the government, you are telling me that there are no one within the government, there are no platform. 1 second. You act like, Lofa, because something has been given to the government and the government have not officially released the report somehow means no one can have access to the report. That's what you're saying.
There are so many leaked information out there.
It's not leaked information. I'm telling you that I have in my possession. Lofa, you don't have to believe me. I'm telling you, listen to me. I'm telling you that I've read.
It is leaked.
Can I land? Can I land, please?
It is not please? From the government. It is leaked.
Listen, you have the right to wait for the government to release a report.
Right.
Read the report. Listen, that's what I'm saying. You have all right to say, you know what?
I'm not going to believe anything other than what the government released. You have that right. But the question, whether or not that I've read the report because the government has not officially released the report makes no sense. People,
Whoa.
have
That was
documentation.
never my statement.
One second.
That
People
was
have
not whether you read the
documentation.
report or not. Well, go ahead.
Man, you keep interrupting people, man. You want to talk? I'll give you a chance to talk.
No. I want to just give you a piece of your pie. But go ahead.
Don't give me piece of advice. You don't make sense.
I said the report,
the report,
pie, not advice.
Okay, that's fine. The report is no longer in the hands of the investigators. The report has been turned over to the government. Unless you're telling me it is only the president that have perused the report, then no one else have read the report. It has not been released. I did not tell you the government has officially released the report given to them. However, I do have people that I can call and get access to the report. I'm not going to tell you the names of those who have given me the report because the government has not released it yet. Now, if the government released the report and the report or the cause of the fire, as I'm stating, contradicts what I just told you, then you can say, Robert, you're lying. Your source lied to you. But I'm telling you that I've read the report that has been given to the government. You're asking me what source I got it from, what network. You assume I got it from Spoon. No, I did not get anything from Spoon. I have read the report. Someone from the executive mansion sent the report to me. This report is not a big booklet. I've read the report. Everything is in the report. I've read the report. Until the government releases the report, you can wait for the government to release the report and you can read and believe that report. But I've read the report and the cause of fire, as stated, is incendiary. And last point I want to make is this. Just because something is incendiary does not mean that it's arson. It's not. It's not. It doesn't mean anything like that. The government will have to prove that they have enough based on this report to charge and prosecute people. They will have to prove that. And based on what I've read, like I stated earlier, I have questions for the chiefs, and hopefully they will show up on this platform and we will engage them. But there's nothing in the report. There is nothing in the report that states who caused the fire or that even connects the government criminal case to the charges and incarceration they've made right now. And we all know they have not conducted a full criminal case, because if they had and it was completed and the Justice Department were using the evidences presented to them to proceed with prosecution, Kofa would not be at the police headquarters today still answering questions. It doesn't work that way. And I'll land.
So, did you have a question, Tomalin? Did you want to say something?
No, I wanted to just interject something. I mean,
okay.
It's obvious. If I mean, they did an investigation and their report was submitted to the government. I mean, we all know that sonic leaks happen though. And
exactly.
I cannot.
Yeah, but talking about you can't believe anything until the government releases the report. Wait for the government report to release it.
What Robert is saying is a lie. I cannot question because the government is a leak and leak. And mind you, I come in now. Don't forget, they said that they weren't going to give it, made it public, right? But then if they reach to the government, somebody may have leaked it to the press, leak it to somebody, and that's how it's all around the world. I mean, you see what happened in the big United States. If things get leaked before it comes out, already leaked. It's already out. So you cannot question until, like he said, when the government released the report, make it official, and what he's saying, if it contravenes what the government is saying, then you can raise an issue with that. But I don't think we have not seen the report.
Okay, I wrote a story in Daily Observer. It's on the front pages of Daily Observer that is based on the findings of the report. Tomalin and Robert.
Okay.
And,
so Russell, you have read the report, right?
I've written a newspaper article based on the findings of the report that
means you read the
appeared
report.
in
No, I want
today's.
to ask that question, Russell, to again tell Lofa that this report that is in the government's possession is not only the government that have access to the report. That's all I was asking for. Go ahead.
I will say this. Let me reiterate, okay? And I will say this a little slowly. The report is yet to be released by the government. Our statements here to be speculations, and in that regard, that is not in any way, shape, or form claim that one statement is false about what is being stated. All right, let's be clear. You can speculate on anything and be right in your statement. That does not in any way means you are wrong or
you're asking for
I asked you yes.
I cannot tell you my source name.
Okay, then,
you want
okay,
to get fired?
Okay,
if I tell you to report right now, the government will report you.
I told you wanted to be given time to talk.
No,
now you want to interrupt.
No, I'm not asking you.
Robert, let
me ask you one question.
I told you wanted me to give you time to talk.
Can I ask you a question real quick? I will let you.
You can ask me a question if you allow me to land. If you allow me to land.
Let me ask you a question now.
If you allow me to land.
No, let me ask you the question.
I will give you the opportunity to ask your question. Just let me land. Let me land. I'll give you the opportunity to ask me the question, right? Again, and I'll close on the note so Russell can chime in here. Whatever we are discussing here, Russell may be privileged to this document, all right? And that's why I asked you, that's why I asked earlier, prior to me making my statement, I think I was very clear when I asked you, where did you obtain this information from?
And what did I say?
You said you did not want to disclose your source. Okay. And based on that, I said that everything that is discussed would be speculation because we don't have the original report.
So are you going to question Russell? Are you going to question Russell's?
Well, hold on one second.
Hold on one second. Russell's.
Let me tell you, I would definitely not question Russell's report. Because Russell proximity to those who actually conducted this investigation. Those who conducted the investigation. Robert, this is not a George Noble kind of gimme document.
It's not about George Noble.
Robert, let me land. Robert, let me land. When someone speak of not making sense is when you come out here and discuss national issue based on speculation. When you expect everybody to get one.
Like Tomalin just said, Tomalin told you,
Robert, you can't, Robert, you cannot run that war, Robert, you will not run with this. Let me land, Robert, let me land, because you cannot get away with this thing trying to jump over yourself.
You just embarrass yourself that you done all the time.
You stop.
You just embarrass yourself.
Again, Robert,
you just embarrass yourself.
You're not helping yourself. Robert, you're trying too hard. Calm down.
I'm
You're trying too hard.
No, I'm not trying too hard. You are trying to convince yourself. You are trying to convince yourself that we cannot discuss something because you haven't read it. So you want to question whether or not it's authentic or not.
The idea of coming here until that original report is made available, anything you say, I will assume that you're simply speculating. That's it. Go ahead, Russell.
So no, Russell, give me 30 seconds.
I'm not going back and forth with this about you, Robert.
Lofa, you don't determine. I'm gonna get. Don't respond. You do not have to respond, but I'm gonna speak.
I'm telling you.
Like I was saying, if Russell, it doesn't matter. Don't determine what I speak.
It don't matter how you say it.
Okay, so let me speak.
So let me speak. I would not let you speak because you.
Tomalin, can you let me? Can you quiet this guy, please?
You're not gonna do that.
Can you quiet him?
I can do this all through.
Can you quiet him?
Get away with that, but I'm trying to tell you again, and I remain consistent with my position.
Okay, let Russell come and start.
Yeah.
No, Russell, please give me 30 seconds. So, Russell, give me 30 seconds, please. Let me be very clear. When you don't make sense, just admit you don't make sense. Because like Tomalin said,
that would be something that I would expect you to do because obviously you definitely don't make sense in this case.
So if you don't make sense, and hopefully you don't speak again while I'm speaking. If you don't make sense,
you're hoping I don't speak again while you're speaking. Okay, keep hoping. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not gonna do this because I think what you're doing is you don't want me to further embarrass you, but I will speak, so I won't interrupt. So if you don't make sense. Multiple times.
You rather wish you could embarrass me. Keep trying, Russell. Excuse me, Robert. Go ahead. Okay. Now you can go ahead.
So can you not interrupt now? Okay, because I want the audience to listen to this because you don't make sense. I just said that I've read the report. The contention here was not whether or not the government have released the report. We all know that they have not officially released the report.
How you tell me what my contention was? When
I'm telling you my contention, not your contention.
Well, that was I posed the question to you, Robert. That simply proves again why you're not understanding yourself. I posed the question to you in the first place. That is where I was going. I asked you a simple question about where you obtained your report, and you couldn't even state that. And I'm telling you, based on that, I'm assuming that you're speculating everything else that is stated. So what is what is in it that you don't understand?
Okay, are you?
What is in it that you don't understand?
Please do not interrupt me. I'm not going to go back and forth. Please do not interrupt me. I'm not going to go back and forth with you because I'm going to make sure, and Russell, thanks for your patience, that the audience understand the contention. Please do not interrupt me. If you have a contention, you can state that contention. Please. Now, my contention, as I stated earlier, was I have read the report. And in the report, the cause of fire was incendiary. That was my contention. You, on the other hand, can choose not to believe what I've read on grounds that the government have not officially released the report. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But to question whether or not anyone outside of the government official release of the report can have access to information, and it happens everywhere with the biggest networks all the time. These networks have sources within the White House, within the executive mansion, and information are leaked to them, and they come out and publicly state what is expected to be released. It could be a day from now, 2 days from now, an hour from now. They sit there all the time. People don't ask them where you got the information from or who are your sources. It would make no sense for me to release my source when the person have given me an information that has not officially been released. Now, how do you think I go back to someone and say, hey, can you forward that information to me? Let me look at it. And would they trust me that I'm not going to keep this information private until it's been officially released? So that's my contention. But you have sat on this platform many locations and you've spoken on speculation based on information in your possession. So because you refuse to give me that information doesn't necessarily mean that what you're saying is a lie. Now, what I would do, listen, my friend. Okay, Russell, please speak, Russell. Come in, please speak. I'm not going to do this with this guy, man.
Okay. Thanks, guys. So one of the things I'd like to say, I said this earlier, and I got access to the report entirely to write an article, okay, which I did, and it appeared in the Daily Observer. When this team left to go to Liberia, as you all know, we were on the show here together. I also wrote a front page article and that appeared in the Daily Observer. Okay, so it's just a continuation of that effort, right? So, but what I would say to you, Robert, is that, and even if you go on my Facebook wall page in the wall, you will see I have a post there with the article attached, and there I talk about the word that a lot of folks are playing with now, incendiary. Okay, and so last night I also consulted why the team is traveling from Liberia, and they're en route. I mean, like I said here already, I'm not a law enforcement expert. I have no training, absolutely no training in law enforcement. I'm not a fire investigator. I know nothing about fire investigation. However, I'm a writer. Okay, and so that's where I come from. So even in crafting my post, I contacted an active duty fire commander at the Brooklyn Park Fire Department last night to explain this stuff to me. Let me understand what this stuff is. And he said, incendiary is or neutral technical term that is used by fire investigators all over the U.S. That's the term they use. Whereas arson is a legal and criminal term implying intent and unlawful action that is used by the legal team or by prosecutors. You will never hear a fire investigator, he told me, use the word arson, especially within this sort of technical professional realm. They're done. So, but he said it means the same thing. One leads to the next, right? So let's just, let me use this as an example so that maybe the audience probably understand this better. If I got a hammer, a big old hammer, God forbid, and I saw someone, I hit the person on the head with a hammer, and the person died. When the investigator comes, or when the coroner comes, or the medical examiner comes, that medical examination, the examiner will say that this person died from blunt force trauma. Okay? The hammer that they use, this person died as a result of blunt force trauma. When they prosecute, they will turn that over to the prosecutor. Then the prosecutor then takes it and says, okay, that blunt force trauma that Winfred, with the hammer, that Winfred hit this person with, this constitute murder. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So incendiary material there, the result of that, the investigator is not going to tell you what we've seen here with all these incendiary materials. We have been able to analyze all of what we've seen here, and we've identified based on the analysis that there was some incendiary material used. Okay, they're not going to say arson. They're not. That's not how it works. So that is the situation with the report. So if you read the article, it is clearly stated in the article that I wrote based on the official, authentic finding from this team that the fire was set intentionally.
So let me ask you a question. Here is the reason why I say it's not the same. Because to your point, the fire investigation is not a criminal investigation. Now, not everything that is designed to cause fire is done intentionally. So we've got to be very clear. And I think people with some common sense will look at this and say, you know what? Just because a report says something, the cause is incendiary, doesn't necessarily mean that the fire was done intentionally. It's the material that caused.
You're right.
Right. It's the material that is meant to cause fire or serious damage. My contention again is that because Liberian people, again, this is how we politicize these things, and I'm not speaking to you, Russell, is that the chiefs have done their part. And I think the reason why people continue to push this narrative from a political standpoint that the incendiary is the same as the police criminal conclusion that it was arson is because they've already gone and held ahead of themselves in this criminal case that does not seem to correlate with the fire investigation. So the question that I will ask, and I would like to ask the chief here, is if they found that the cause of fire is incendiary, which means material that caused the fire was meant to cause fire, that's exactly what it means. Does it mean that, or is it enough to say, you know what, those guys who have been indicted by this crime and the police conclusion that this was arson, does that mean what they actually concluded? And if you look at it, to your argument, it doesn't mean the same thing. They're basically just saying the cause of fire, the material used was meant and designed to cause fire. Now, the police will have to show us their investigation based on this report to say, you know what? We have found enough evidences to show that indeed the damage, the material that was used to cause fire is arson. They have not shown that to us yet. So it's not the same. And I'll land.
So but Robert, you also, but Tomalin, I'll let you go, and then I will chime in here.
So who?
Oh, I told you when to chime in. I said I was going to
like I was saying, right? The fire guy said they wasn't going to release a report to make it, wasn't going to make it public, but I can tell you for a fact it has been leaked. Whatever the case, that report has been leaked. And it's out there.
The report is out there.
Okay, so we'll agree. Like I said, I think I was very clear. Maybe for some reason, Robert just assumed because I said everything we discuss at this point, which is often done everywhere, but until the original or until we can say this is authentic, it is from the government, we are speculating and we can assume and just use our rational judgment to discuss this entire fire incident. One claiming that we are speculating does not in any way, shape, or form insinuates that you're lying. No, it is simply because what is being stated may not have been validated, and I said may not. Okay, but back to Russell's point, the technical phrases that are being used, or a word that is being used here. Okay, it's word in its best description. The technical word here as compared to the legal word is what we are simply trying to say when it comes to that aspect of it. I don't think it is within their capacity to reference this as arson. And that is exactly why I said the police inspector general, in his mind, thought that he was doing the right thing. Maybe he simply wanted to kind of, just boost his shoulder and say he already did the investigation. Little did he know that they would invite others to come and be a part of this entire investigation. And now this is part of the reason why reputable people are now having to deal with public scrutiny and all of the attempted character assassination. There are so many statements that are being made out there about these people. As a matter of fact, as you read through some of the threats that are out there, Russell is being linked with these people. Russell is part of this, and then that. Even though Russell's intention probably may have been, I just want to help my country. All right, and because we are not capacitated to conduct such an investigation, and I am, acquainted with people who know how to do this, so let me just get them involved. And this is where we find ourselves. Maybe if we were to do things orderly, we probably won't be in this position today where we are now discussing the possibility of this having to go across as just mere political ideas, and people are being wish hunted. And from all indication, I think Dr. Peabody mentioned the fact here, the fact that one group of people are being invited for questioning and not the other side, it raises eyebrows. Everybody should be concerned. Why is that happening? Why are we only focusing on one group of people and not the other side? Why is it that the police investigator incarcerated men who may have been considered a part of this process without thorough investigation? I don't know whether people simply get a boat and thrown in jail in Liberia based on suspicion. I don't know how that works, but I think it will be left with the police. And hopefully after all of this is done, then we can come to the conclusion. But I want us to separate. What we need to do here is to separate the fire investigation from the legal aspect of it. I think there are two groups of people here that are working. They will conduct the investigation and make it available to the police, and then if they decide to pursue it, then the court will make the final judgment based on the police report. That is how it is done. Am I correct, Russell?
Yeah, but what they've done, and by the way, I think anyone who is trying to negatively tie Russell into any political nonsense, shame on them. But let's have this fierce debate, and I think Russell, irrespective of the fact that he knows these guys, I don't have to know them to know that based on my conversation with them, I think they are men of integrity. And again, I find it hard to believe that the government has enough money to have them compromise that integrity. So again, I believe that foundation. They provided some information. They answer questions about how they reach the conclusion that they reached in the report. So Lofa, once the government releases the report, you can read the report and you will understand all of it answers question. Now, the questions that have left unanswered is not the fire report. The question that have left unanswered is the criminal report. And the police, the chiefs were very clear. They asked him, can the fire investigation go hand in hand with the criminal investigation? He said yes. But you don't need the chief to tell you that. It's common sense. If a fire happened, just because fire happened doesn't mean someone was responsible criminally for that fire. So it is incumbent upon us now to say, you know what? We need to find out. We need to find out, one, what caused this fire? This is what the chiefs did. Two, was it done criminally? Was it intentionally? Three, who's responsible? All of these questions are in a thoroughly done investigation, both fire and criminal. God bless the heart of the chiefs. They took 3 days. How many days did the fire department in Liberia take to come up with that investigation? Who did they release that investigation to? We still don't know. At least we've gotten released documentation of these guys' fires investigation. Have anyone seen a fire investigation of the fire department in Liberia? I haven't seen one.
Robert, let me ask you a quick question. So let me. Hopefully, you can include this in your statement, right? We understand that there will be two parts to this entire investigation: the police report, right, that will have to be submitted. In addition, and as part of the police report, considering the fact that I'm not a legal practitioner, neither do I have any kind of security background, but there will also have to be the police report will include the finding from the fire investigation.
Right,
Russell, is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So if that is the case, if the fire investigation report is included with the police report, that will be submitted to the legal team, right? Justice Department. Will you, Robert, consider that? Will you consider a fear because it's coming from the same IG or the police department that you are now doubting that initially from the start they weren't acting, or they're not even acting right?
Listen, I'm a nationalist. I'm a nationalist. I do not think that the white man is smarter than us. So I don't want this to come across as if, well, we are quick to believe the white man's report and question our own report. And I think it's important to assert that. The reason why we continue to question our investigations is because those in charge of these was supposed to be professionally done investigation, independently done investigation, void of politics, have not been able to successfully separate themselves from politics in making these decisions. Give you an example. Again, in 3 days, in less than a week, folks from Minnesota flew to Liberia, conducted a report in 3 days, and have turned that report over to the government. That report has been leaked, so we know what caused the fire. Meanwhile, a so-called investigation was done by our fire department in Liberia. I'm using so-called because, again, we still don't know what that report concluded. All we know is what the IG said, which is arson. Okay, so if it's arson, what is the evidences? What are the evidences? Because incendiary does not necessarily mean that someone criminally burned the damn place. Something could have caused the fire. So it's incumbent upon us when we do these investigations to answer the right questions. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
That's you, Robert. But
Yeah, I mean, Rosa, I don't know. Rosa, I know you have not said that you received the report. So people that are saying it, they just speculating or making assumption. But as far as I'm concerned, you have not said you received any report from anyone. So I take it that way. But my concern is, I know Lofa said it earlier when he was speaking. When the fire guys were on the show, I told them, I said, don't forget, it's a political environment you're going in.
It is.
It's toxic right now. And so I know you're going to do your professionalism and everything, but I know I've like, it was like I foresaw what was going to happen. It's like, no matter what result it comes away, once I won't be happy. And as a result, they will be making accusations. And now, for the fact of the matter is the political investigation, the political incident. They have turned political because, like Robert said, for the fact that it's still investigating people, calling them for questioning. Perhaps the report says that the report has led to something, because based on what the report have said, maybe they're still calling the speaker and other protocol investigations, still holding people in custody. So they have to come up. Though we expect the justice minister or the president of Liberia now to come to the microphone, standing on his left will be, if the president comes up, the fire chief, the justice minister, the police director, all standing by him and tell Liberian people what happened. Because if they keep on playing this kind of a game, it will just be you say, I say, because, and then the three guys who left from here, they're just gonna get them mixed up in the whole thing, because
but Tomalin, we gotta protect them.
Let me finish, right? But Mr. Russell, what I respect for, I beg you, these guys, we are open to them. They come when they arrive in America, let them come on the platform and let them give them the opportunity to clear the air, and it will be free to talk. And we don't restrict anybody here. They'll come and tell us what really happened. We ask them the question, and then we move on.
So can I just, Robert, can I just do this in a real quick? The fact that Tomalin mentioned something about this, right? And I know a lot of people are talking about the length of time it took for them to conclude on the investigation, right? Something that these guys may have had to their disposal that is not in Liberia is the thermal imaging camera. What that does is you stand at the door where the fire scene and you just point it. It gives you detail about that fire, even on the wall. Reason I know this is because I'm opportune to have worked with rangers, and I've worked with them, and they work alongside with.
Let me ask you, so it doesn't matter how long.
The thermal imaging camera. No, it could have been there for months, and they can scan the scene. As a matter of fact, there is a technology with the drone. The drone can actually give you a whole graph, 3D dimension of the fire scene. And you can sit from right in your office and just graph out what may have happened. So the time it took for these people to gather the data, I don't think anybody should sit down and say, oh, the time was too short. And our government, they could not get it done in that time, because the technology is not in existence for us. I think what we should be looking at here is beyond that, because I can tell you, I can name you several different technologies that are often used. As a matter of fact, some of these things, as time goes on, they're dropping them and advancing in almost every year. So when people are looking at how fast it takes, how often fires, anyway, I will stop at that point, because again, I'm not a firefighter. I've never done it, but I'm just opportune to work and observe some of these things. And just learn that this thing can be done.
So I think those questioning the length of time that it took for these guys to conduct, I don't think they understand. I think, and again, the chief was very clear when he said that we don't have the tools and the expertise in Liberia. He was very clear, and I think he was explicit. So that answered the question. The reason why, I'll give you this analogy. Why you think it takes a longer time to drive from Single to a certain place? And normally, with the right roads, it shouldn't take that long to drive from Single to Caldwell. I think they're fixing the road there now, right? Even without traffic. But because the roads are bad, okay, it's a hinder to the length of time it's going to take to drive, because you can't drive at a normal speed. So a lot of things in our country don't happen at the normal rate because we don't have, we got some serious issues that is affecting the smooth flow of things, and that our institutions are no exception to that. They had the tools. They went into Liberia with the tools to conduct this investigation within the time frame that they did. So that is no question. I think, again, the question here is, and we're not trying to politicize, I think the government, if anything, politicized this matter. It started with the president. What is the rush? We've had fire, massive fire. Look at what happened in California. There were questions about whether or not this was criminally done. But guess what? These folks are still carrying out an investigation. What they've done, they've put the criminal case on the back burner, and they focus more on rebuilding and helping families, kind of get back on their feet. This would not have been Liberia. What is the rush? Oh, especially if it happened in a neighborhood where it was all one political party. Oh, this was intentionally done because social city people live over there. Oh man, no, these people they've come and burned the whole city. We preempt a lot of things that we're not supposed to preempt without any proof of any evidence whatsoever. The president was wrong when he went at the Capitol Hill and he said this was done by hooligans. Sir, how did you know that? How did you know thugs came in here and burned the fire down? That's number one. Number two, again, take your own time, even if you got 70% of proof. If you don't have everything you need to go to court, take your own time and tell the public, we will take our time. We have leads. We still need more information. We will take our own time. Some investigations take years to come up with a conclusion. Get the right people. What was the rush to have some people arrested? What was the rush to have people arrested? They could have waited for the chief to come and carry out that report. But now we would have been talking about, okay, now we know what caused the fire. Now, was it intentionally done? This is the criminal piece. But the police have not told us anything. When Gregory Coleman had that press conference, all he said was awesome. How? What are the evidences? Oh, it's only in Liberia where the public don't have the right to know the story and how you got to this proof. Why is it that the chiefs, in 3 days, in a simple report, were able to tell us how they reached their conclusion? It's very detailed, and it's not booklet. I think it's 3 or 4 or 5 pages. It's not a big old booklet to read. They were very detailed in a report. So again, they should release those men. They should release those men, because as we speak right now, it's not enough because something that is designed to cause the fire. You still have not explained to us whether or not it was done criminally. We need the evidences to show, yes, without a reasonable doubt, it was done criminally. And I promise you, if the evidence shows that, these guys should be held accountable for their action, because these are not a conduct that we should encourage in our country. If you have grievances, if you have disagreement, there are systems, there are institutions where you go and you seek redress. You can't go and burn a building down because you don't like the fact that fanatic Kofa, is being targeted. No. But this police has proved to be incompetent. They started this mess. Why you got people locked up, but you're still calling Kofa in for questioning? So what will you do with that piece of information? So they should drop this case. They should release those men until this report is done, because they still have not proved to us that yes, this was arson. This is I don't know what this is. I know what caused the fire, but I don't know criminally whether or not this was done intentionally. And the public should know that. The public should know the difference. Just because something is incendiary or used to the design to cause fire doesn't mean that it was arson or it was done intentionally. They need to prove that to us now. And if they have proved that to us, then those who are held accountable should be held accountable for that.
So Robert, who are you? Russell, did you want to chime in?
The government, not the fire chief. The government should prove the fire chiefs are done with their part. I have questions for them. I'm not focused on this fire report. I'm happy now that we know what caused the fire. Whatever design material was designed to cause fire. That's all they can say. Now the criminal case is in the government hand, unless they want to bring expert now to help them with the criminal case, which I think that is what they should do. They should ask the chiefs. Better yet, reach out to Russell. Russell, you got all these police officers here. We spoke to many on this bird platform. They're willing to help train the police. So maybe now, just how they got the fire chiefs in Liberia, Russell can arrange them to get the police folks in that country with the tools to find out now, okay, based on what caused the fire, is it arson? And here are the evidences. They should do that. And they should present those evidences to us so we know for a fact that these guys that are being charged get the crown.
Okay.
And they can prove it in court.
All right. All right, guys. It's a very healthy debate.
Waiting will have you guys.
Huh?
Waiting will have you guys to appear.
Well, you know,
you guys are live. You're live. You've been heard. Russell.
Yes.
Are you on the phone with Tomalin?
No,
no, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
No, we're talking through this medium.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Where am I?
You're frozen.
No, I don't.
Where am I? Frozen.
No, I think it's Tomalin.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, he's frozen. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think he's frozen. Okay. I think he's coming back. Yes. Tomalin was asking when they will be available. I'm not sure when they'll be available. Probably, you know, when they get in, of course, jet lag and all of that will kick in. So today's Wednesday. So we'll just play by ear and see. But of course, you know, I have to prioritize this platform. And let's see what.
Because I heard that man coming. You trying to get them. You know that your boy that fella. He like all kind of things. So don't take them back over there. They started here. They must finish here. Don't take them to that place.
But they promise to come back here. And so we just need to give them a break when they get in.
Right.
Yeah, you know all of that, and then we can arrange it from there. And then the other thing, you know, speaking of training and all of that, so there's another package that we're working on, and so I will see if we need to come on. We have some police training that would be taking place, and there were some folks leaving from here to go conduct police training. So I would see if we could get them on before they depart for Liberia.
So and this is just my low man view, right? And if anything were to happen within the next few weeks, I think it should be independent of what is happening right now with this investigation and everything. If the government decided they wanted to prove beyond all reasonable doubts that they are, you know, competent enough, I would recommend an independent investigator. It is available. I'm looking at a few things here, especially when it comes, okay? Hopefully this will help out. First of all, we are talking about the capital where you have lawmakers going to sit and do business. You don't have civilian cameras in that place. That is the least of anything anybody can talk about. That would have helped in this entire investigation because you would have had footages of what may have happened over there. They couldn't afford that. Now, we are talking about investigation, which of course will require some level of science. You just cannot do like the IG did, or the color of the fire made us to think or to know that it was arson. You definitely cannot do that.
Can you imagine that kind of thing?
All right, that was his statement.
Can you imagine that kind of thing that you got people locked up?
The color of the fire. Now, I want to share something quickly with you guys, right? Here's in the country where we don't value security. I spoke of the thermal or camera, right? At $7,000. Do you really think that our government is willing and ready to invest in such technology to help us in future investigations? No. Okay, because I don't think we value these things. Now, more than likely, Chief Parliament and his crew already knows the value of such equipment. They invested in it, and they were able to carry on their work effectively and in a timely manner where they were able to provide reports. But the biggest thing here, will our police be able to provide report to the public from the investigation that the people will believe in? I doubt too many people will believe in the police, because right now, I don't think too many people really trust the police. The IG is literally in a spot where no matter what he tried to do, no one will sincerely believe his output, because they think that his decisions, his actions has been seen to be politically motivated, and for that reason, no one wants to believe him.
Well, I mean, I will look forward to Russell. We hope you allow us to bring these guys here like we promised. But I don't know. The IG, I heard he was flown on Liberia today. I don't know how true it is. He's not well. We're still trying to grapple on it. I don't know why, but
I have no knowledge about that. I mean, as far as I know, the IG attended some programs today in town in Monrovia, so I don't have any information with him.
Well, I mean, I wish him well. Somebody I say I don't know. I really don't know, but I just informed him. But tomorrow we'll also be hearing the Supreme Court be giving their opinion on that issue. And like the interesting thing they wrote, they call Kong per protest speaker, and they call Fonati the speaker of the legitimate.
Wait. Hold on, Tomalin. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The purported speaker.
Yeah, what they're saying is to them. So tomorrow will be an interesting day. So let's come tomorrow and see what happens. But
all right, guys.
If somebody reference you as purported, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
but I think that's the best. Let it end it. Let's Supreme Court end it.
Yeah, let them end this thing, man.
Yeah, put it forward. Now, all President Baga needs to do now. Say, look, Justice Minister, let's have election. Let it be over.
Yeah. Good show, guys.
Lofa, the post, what happened? He said, Snow say, I'm gonna ask you, what happened? You show up, you know, show up.
Snow asked that question because I did not show yesterday. No.
Ever asked about yesterday.
Yesterday I traveled for work. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I was following the show. I know we talked about this, Tomalin. That's no excuse, but it was impromptu because I have a future trip coming up in a couple of days. So I wanted to make sure I got everything off my decks before I had to travel, because it's international. But
that's the fans on the platform, on the line, calling your name, calling Lofa.
I know. You know, he had his free time. I hope he enjoyed it. Hopefully,
Lofa. See, everybody the noise come as Lofa, but I said, I don't know the man thought it, man. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. No, actually, I take that. I didn't expect it to happen.
But the message, you come back tomorrow.
Tomorrow, remember now. We got to push our little carton to feed our family.
Oh yeah. I want that. Priority number one.
Right.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, when he come back next, we'll be on here though. We'll be here.
Okay.
All right, bro.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, man.